5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go live. Okay. And we're here. We made it. Welcome to the newest episode of Creators Live. This is a very special episode with a lot of special people in the house. A full house of talented people. Maybe the most talented group of people I've ever had on the episode. I'm totally dissing everyone. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
So messed up, dude.
I want to give just real quick big thanks to everyone in the YouTube chat right now. Thank you for joining on YouTube. We'll be answering your questions throughout the stream. And if you want to know anything about art, about us, ask away, and I'll do my best to get to them. And big thanks to all the Pokemon artists right now in here with me. Thank you for joining me tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is definitely the first time I've talked to artists like this. Even though I've been in the art community, I've never communicated like this. So I think that's it's a great thing about the Pokemon community, like to do this. It brought this upon me. So thank you, Pokemon. It does so much for us. So
Manny, real quick. Oh wait,
Yeah,
never
what's
mind.
up?
You were frozen for a second, but now you're good.
Yeah.
Just as I said that, of course.
All right. Pokeben's trying to join us. All right, so I'll start asking questions. I do want to learn about you guys quickly because we do have a good bit of people in here, so I don't want to take too long on each question. But I guess briefly, I want to know your history of art. Like more specifically, like when did you start drawing and when did you start taking it more seriously? Like for starters, for me, I think like a lot of kids, you start as a kid drawing, like doodling in class, but I never thought of it as anything, as like it could be a career or you can make money off of it. And I'm 29 now. It wasn't until like 4 years ago when the thought came in my mind when I was like kind of, I guess, doing self-help stuff. Like, what are you going to do with your life? Like, get it together, Manny. And then you like look deep inside. I'm like, I think I like drawing. So then you start taking it seriously and taking classes. And for me, that's when I started getting really, really good. Just when I started applying myself and trying to be disciplined about the skill of art. So much to learn. So did anyone else like start as a kid? Or I know Barry, did you draw as a kid or did you started recently?
No, I just started painting over the summer in June.
Which is crazy because your whole account is about art.
Yeah.
and you just started.
Yeah, I just started painting.
And what made you start painting?
Yeah, so it's in June my pawpaw had passed away and we wanted to do something special for my momo. And my sister came up with an idea to paint a portrait of my pawpaw. And so I had some paint and I painted a portrait of him.
Blue shoes.
And it actually turned out pretty good. And then she loved it. And then at the end of July, I came across the TikTok page of Pokemon card art and started painting Pokemon cards. And here I am.
Well, what gave you the idea to start painting a card though?
Yeah, Pokemon card art.
Just him, specifically him.
Specifically him. I seen a Pokemon card art TikTok, and I said, and that looked like fun, so I gave it a shot. And yeah.
And you weren't really into Pokemon though, were you?
I started getting into Pokemon over the summer when I came across Leon Hart, but yeah, so I'm just now getting back into Pokemon and painting.
Did you collect as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it as a kid, but got out of it and slowly getting back into it.
Did everyone else here start as a kid, like pretty much, or does anyone have like a different story?
Like in terms
I started. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead, man.
I mean, like in terms of art, I started drawing last year. I was shopping for like anime merch. Like I'm pretty sure everyone here has heard of like Hypeland, like one of the bigger like anime merch companies.
That's a negative.
Okay, well then, doesn't matter. So they just take their license with a lot of like the anime studios and stuff like that. And I just didn't like the merch. Like I wanted specific poses, characters wearing specific clothes. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just try to make it myself.
Wow.
And then when I first started drawing, I was like, I was absolutely terrible. Like my proportions were always off. The head was always too big. Head was always too small. Arm was always too long. Hand was always too small. But like over the past, I guess, year, I mean, I bought the iPad a year ago. I was like, let's just go for it. And like, he'll start like going back a little bit. I grew up playing basketball, so I liken art to basketball. Like, if I show up every day, put 3-4 hours of work in, trace, redraw, learn proportions, it's gonna stick eventually. So now I'm where I'm at. I'm decent. I'm decent, still learning, still growing every day. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And then Candle, what were you gonna say, bro?
Oh,
Before I cut you off.
no, that's cool, man. No, I mean, I started as a kid too. Actually, I started drawing Ninja Turtles. That's what I started off as.
Oh yeah.
I think my grandpa might still have some drawings of Ninja Turtles. I was obsessed with them. Growing up, I did collect Pokemon cards, but growing up in a Christian family, Pokemon's the devil. So I think my mom found a stash and she chunked them. But anyways, I've been drawing all my life. Just recently, like about 4 years ago, I started customizing shoes. That's how I started painting, I guess, per se. And so I've been customizing shoes for businesses, people, even some artists I've done shoes for. Maybe a couple years ago, I finally got me an iPad because I just wanted to sketch and I wanted something because I wanted to make stickers. That was my thing. I wanted to make stickers. So I got me an iPad Pro. I started drawing just random stuff and started getting into Pokemon a lot more, like when I was a kid. And so first I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna draw Charmander with some Supreme gear. I'm just gonna start with that. I mean, I don't think I've seen anything like that.
That's fire.
So I went ahead and did that. People liked it, so I just kept going. And then I had a mud kip with some off-white ones, and then I had all this other stuff. And
Where were you posting this stuff?
on my Instagram, mainly everything's on. I basically built my whole thing on my Instagram, and I had all this stuff. I had the stickers and everything, and I wasn't selling a lot, but I just enjoyed doing the Pokemon stickers because I was playing the game. I was playing Pokemon Go. I was, and I watched all the anime, and so anyway, so recently, like a week ago, I've been in quarantine with my wife, and I decided I kept seeing these TikToks. I got into TikToks, people drawing, they're not step by step, but just showing the process of the artwork. And I was like, let me try one of my old ones that I've done. And I did one where it was a Hitmonchan, but I made him look like Mike Tyson. And so that one got a lot of attention. And after that, I just kept doing them, and I get a pretty good amount of views. I haven't gone viral or anything, but I'm just saying I get a good amount of views where
They
people
look
go
awesome,
to
man.
Appreciate it. Where they go to my website and I just started getting sticker orders. I was like, dang,
Wow.
I hand make these stickers. Like, I don't just order them. So I'm in here making these sticker holographics and everything. So and I also do the merch. I do the heat pressing, like for instance the sweater back there. I do the heat pressing on the shirts and the sweaters and stuff. So I just want to show y'all something real quick. Like these are one of the basketball shoes I did about a year ago. Like for instance, this one is I come the water types, but it has like the Blastoise or the Squirtle lineup if you want. I use these for everything a little dirty, but so this one has the Squirtle all the way to
Those look awesome.
That's cool.
Blastoise.
Yeah.
What material is that? How'd you print that on there? Or is that paint?
No, this is hand painted.
Oh,
Airbrushed.
wow.
Yeah, some airbrush. This is the total down one. So that's
Holy
for alligator.
crap.
So
Sweet.
anyways. Yeah, so that's what I was mainly doing. That's my main thing that I do, the shoes. I just recently started the stickers and things like that. So I mean I like to dip my hands in everything as a creative.
I can so relate to like I used to make t-shirts, and it's just so much work trying to like doing this stuff on your own, trying to make it, and especially when it doesn't work out, when like you're putting all this time and effort into something and like no one sees it. It's just
a lot of trial and error. A lot.
Yeah, and a lot of money going down the drain because it like it doesn't come out right.
Yeah, and the iron-on vinyls are not cheap, so it's like you only get 5 per pack, and they're like $20 something. So if you screw it up, I mean, you're just losing money. But yeah, and I'm the type that I have to do it. Like I said, as a creative, I have to see the whole thing happen, or else I don't know. I'm just not happy. I got to make sure the item that you get shoe stickers looks like you bought it from an actual business, like an actual, or assembly line, or what warehouse or something. So
Yeah, well, you're in control. It's a good feeling to have.
yeah.
Cool, man. Thank you. Hug a Mouse. When did you start doing your art?
Well, pretty much when I was a little kid, my friend got me into Pokemon. So I started buying these little magazines just at the grocery store whenever we went with my parents, and there was a little section where they had Pokemon art, like fan art. So I started just going to my little sketchbook. It was like maybe second grade, and just doodling some Pokemon. In third grade, I had my art teacher. She just had us do little flowers with paint and then a little bit of this white stuff. I think it was a slightly different type of paint. And I kind of just had my piece with a little background, just stripes. It was really simple. I was third grader. But my art ended up going into the mall display show. So that kind of got me into art in the first place. So obviously it wasn't very impressive, but for a third grader, it was kind of a little bit different than the others, I suppose.
That's insane.
So,
Yes.
yeah, since then I kind of just enjoyed doing art in general. When I was kind of in middle and high school, I doodled some anime characters. I started sketching them out more detailed as I went. And then I did some Pokemon drawings as well, nothing too crazy, but just as I went into high school, I did a few kind of just art classes. Unfortunately, my teacher didn't teach too well. It was kind of just like, here's some art supplies, go for it. So I just got a little experience with a few different types of mediums. I found out that I really like stippling. It's extremely painful, but it produces pretty cool results.
I saw you did was it Steve Carell?
Michael Scott, yeah, Steve Carell from The Office. I'm gonna be showing that a little bit later.
You're 23, right?
Just about, yeah.
I don't know how you got that good. Like, there's people that, like me, I don't think I'm naturally talented. I had to like work at a skill very long for a long time, and it's very painful and it sucked.
Yeah.
You just seem very naturally talented. Like, yes, obviously you work hard, but I think you have a gift. Like, because I was talking to you earlier on Discord, and it's like you say you're self-taught, and I know in my art classes with middle school, elementary, high school, I didn't learn anything. They didn't teach you anything that you can really use from my memory.
They teach you a few fancy words, and then they're just like, here's some materials, go for it.
Right.
But yeah, so the Michael Scott, which I'll show later, it took me like, I think about 40 hours maybe. So it was a lot of time because it's just little dots. But yeah, so kind of fast forwarding, last year I had seen a few card artists like Lanumbra before, because I just like Pokemon, so I obviously saw her around. But last year I was like, oh, I want to try this a little bit. I think it would be fun. And I bought some wall paint because I didn't know what paint to buy. And an art store I worked at used wall paint as some of their acrylics, I guess because it was cheaper or something. So it was a little bit hard to mix with that because it's not the best consistency. But then a few months back, I'm like, oh, it's COVID, there's nothing to do. So I bought some better paints and I started doing them more and more and more. And now I feel like I've definitely had a lot of improvement with them. And I'm working on a few right now that I'm really excited to finish up. And that's kind of where I started and end up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. You just made your TikTok today, man. I'm looking forward to people discovering you because your stuff is really good. And it blows my mind because your stuff is based, it looks like it's based in traditional realism. Like, it's really good. But you're self-taught, and I just can't, I don't compute how that's possible.
My strengths always lied in like looking at something and kind of duplicating it. So kind of what I've been doing with my cards, it's weird because I'm not using references as much as I used to. I kind of like, after I got the hang of it a little bit, that's just kind of, I kept reproducing it in a similar style and kind of like understood it. But I just really like getting colors to be exactly as they should be and like matching them exactly, because I feel like that's a really important part, especially with the cards, because if you can match the card color initially, like the original card color perfectly, then it really can look like it's just the same piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, thank you. Scott, sir, when did you start your art career? Or not career, when did you start drawing?
I started drawing, like drawing for real, like 5 years ago. I did take an art class in high school, but I made like one really good piece and kind of just was like, art's not for me, and went on with life. And then
Why'd you feel that way? Was it just really hard to do that piece? It wasn't fun?
no, the result was amazing. My teacher was like, you need to be an artist, but during that time, family reasons, it wasn't really like I wasn't in one place. I was always moving around, so it was hard for me to commit to something. And so I didn't get into it, and didn't even think about drawing for, I'm gonna say, 10, almost 15 years. And then I got into drawing 5 years ago, and I was actually writing books because I do a lot of writing. And I was like, I need somebody to draw me something, but I didn't want to pay a whole bunch of money for someone to draw me something, because people charge a lot these days just to get a character design. Well, back when I was getting into it. And I was like, I'm just going to teach myself how to draw. And I just picked up a regular number 2 pencil and started drawing stuff on a piece of paper. 2 months in, started recreating, like, I think I recreated the Lion King movie, the actual like display box.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think I could really actually learn how to draw and do it. And 4 months in, my wife starts noticing me drawing a lot, and she was like, you need to go to school. And she kept telling me, you need to go to school. And I was like, no, I don't think art is initially for me, you know. And she actually kind of forced me into go into school. And I think a year and a half to 2 months, 2 years later, I actually was put into school and started taking real art classes. And then that's when my art went from being like, oh, you could do it, to like, no, you can really create art and make things. So I went with it. And then I got onto TikTok, and I started seeing everybody doing like custom cards, and on Instagram, people were doing custom cards. And I was like, I think I can do that too. So 3 months into Instagram, I just progressed and progressed and progressed, and, started doing pieces for literally everybody just around the world. And it's wild.
What was your experience at art school? Was it an easy process? Was it hard? Was it fun?
I'm currently still in school, and I just got my associates. But honestly, when you go to college, every professor you work with is more, they look at you like an adult, and they expect the same effort for you to put in as much as they put in. So they're like always very helpful and give you the same resources. And I dreaded school. I didn't like school, period. I didn't even like going to high school. I wasn't a bad child. I just didn't like being told what to do. But when you're in college, they literally give you the tools necessary, and you create things, and then they'll tell you if you messed up or what you can fix and improve, and what you did good on and what you didn't do good on. So it's kind of like, they're putting a path in front of you to do something, and you do it, but they don't expect you to follow it. They want you to do your own thing at the same time. So
Literally,
it's like really,
all they care about is effort. You're completely right,
yeah,
man. It's like art school, like the classes. I took 3 beginning art classes in college, and it was pretty easy. Like the work is not easy. You have to be disciplined and do it. But as long as you apply yourself, it's not like math where this answer is definitely wrong. You can have the worst art, the worst drawing to the eyes, but if they saw you put effort and like try to follow the rules and have like a basic understanding, you don't need to be like good at art or talented or skilled. Just effort, try, and you can like succeed really easily.
yeah, it's real cool, especially now, since a lot of teachers kept telling me to go to like UCLA. They're like, you need to learn 3D architecture and do all that stuff because you can do that stuff. And I'm like, not at all interested in architectural work at all. And I only took the class because it was really a requirement. So, if you do go to school, they'll try to show you things that you can do and things that you can do well. And then still at the same time be like, okay, the path you're on is still really good. You should go with it. but there's other options.
Cool, man. Thank you. Amelia, when did you start drawing?
I feel like art has been part of my life forever. My mom went to Tyler School of Art for Fine Arts, I think. So she was always like pushing me to do some art and do cool stuff because she's like, she didn't really do anything with her college degree. So she was like, yes, you go do you. And then, yeah, I was just always like, whenever the teacher's like, oh, we're going to have a drawing project today, everybody, looks back at me and I'm like, okay, like, so I was always like the art person. And then end of high school, I started tattooing out of my house like a gross Tumblr kid. And then my mom was like, that's actually really cool, but you should do that in a not gross way. So that's when I ended up in the tattoo apprenticeship. So yeah, it all worked out. And I mean, I'm like an only child. I never really hung out with a lot of people as a kid. So that's why, not only Pokemon, but art were really big things for me because that's what I would like do with myself at home all the time. So it's just, like so much cumulative practice and effort and time put into it. So yeah, I'm grateful where it took me for sure.
Your tattoos, like they're really clean and very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
I've done drawings and people will ask me, "Oh, you should do tattoos," and I have no interest in doing tattoos. But I tell them like I would ruin your body because my hand is so shaky. I don't have smooth lines or anything. How do you do smooth lines? Is that just natural? Did you have to work on that? Is it like a breathing technique? Do you meditate? How do you?
You should see some of my first tattoos, my guy.
No.
Oh no is right. Yeah, no, tattooing is definitely a big, long learning curve. Big learning curve. I've been tattooing for about 5 years now. The first 2 years, it's all pretty garbage. It's all pretty garbage. And then it just becomes a matter of pushing past the anxiety of, I'm going to screw this person up for life. I'm going to,
I couldn't imagine the fear of that.
That's the funny part about tattooing though, is at this point in the game, that's the last thing I have anxiety about, honestly. Like I believe in myself enough to like do a good job on the person. It's just the person is what gives me anxiety. Cause it's any service industry where you're going to get wild people. So that's what I get anxious about now. And then I think, that belief in myself of like, yeah, you're going to do a good job today. That definitely pushes me to like produce some stuff that I'm really proud of, which is nice because I wasn't proud of anything 2-3 years ago. So
yeah, that's a big thing. Like with my followers, the kids, like they'll come in my lives. Like I tried drawing and it turned out terrible. I'm like, that is normal. Don't worry about it. It takes time.
Absolutely.
What's the weirdest tattoo requests you've had?
Oh man. I've gotten a lot of like names in weird places. There was, how PG are we keeping this right now? Is this like PG-13 and up? Because
that's a good question.
That's a terrific question.
There are kids. You say it, okay. But like censor it. Say let us know what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really censor it. Let's just say
is it like in like the Wuha area? Like
it's like a bunch of milk cartons surrounding a very promiscuous cookie.
Perfect. You did great.
Yeah.
Got
okay.
you. Yep, I get you.
Beautiful job.
Kids, ask your moms.
Bring it up to the parents.
Mother.
Well, what's the longest a tattoo's taken you? How long does that usually take?
Ooh, good question.
So now I'm able to prioritize my time down to what I like to do, which is about like palm to hand size pieces. I don't like doing bigger stuff, actually. I like one and done. I like getting the tattoo done same day. I've done a session before that was like 10 hours long.
Oh my god.
And she sat for it, so like bless her heart. But now it's like, and I've also, like you get quicker and quicker. So now I can bang out like a hand-sized tattoo in like 2 hours tops usually. So I can manage my time pretty well now and have like finished pieces to show people, which is what I like. So
Yeah, they're beautiful. Thank you. Let's go to Jenny. When did you start drawing? Hi.
Literally since I was capable of drawing. Actually, like toddler size.
So a long time.
Oh.
A long time. Yeah.
Did you always see it as like a career path? Like this is what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do?
There was
or
nothing else. There was nothing else. Ever.
Awesome.
It was never going to be anything else. Even my teachers when I was young, when I finished high school, because I switched high schools to go to a different high school, because the one I started in was an English academic high school, and I switched to go to an art academic high school because I didn't want language arts. I wanted arts. So I switched, and then I went back to my other school. My kindergarten teacher was like, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. And her reasoning was because I never drew stick people. All my people had 5 fingers, 5 toes, and belly buttons. And she was like, normal kids don't draw that. I'm like, oh, thanks. I know I'm not normal.
That's so amazing. You knew what you wanted to do as a kid. Oh my god, that I can imagine how much that helped you throughout your life. And you had the confidence to see it as something you can do.
Nope.
Well, you
stopped
did
so many times. So it's not easy. You stop because you're like, you plateau, and when you plateau, you suddenly lose your confidence. And then if you're not surrounded by people that support you, you'll just stop, and then you wait a couple years and you pick it up again.
True.
What when you say plateau, what do you mean? Like you're not getting better, you're not selling?
Yeah.
What are you plateauing with?
You just hit like a wall, and you're like, I can't think of anything, and none of my stuff is going anywhere. People aren't interacting. I'm trash. And then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna stop. Where if I could tell anybody, don't stop, keep going. Even if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you are getting somewhere. It is making a difference. Just maybe you need to try something else. So I literally have tried every medium, right down to welding, except for stained glass, because glass and I do not get along at all.
That's a fantastic tip for beginning artists too. Like try different mediums. Like just don't do pencil and ink. Try paint and
you never know what you're going to be good
know.
at if you don't actually.
And it could spark other
expand.
things. It can inspire you to do other things. It'll teach you to look at other professional artists in that field. Oh, this guy's really good, and it's like it's a path. It opens you up to like different paths.
And it also makes it so you can mix mediums, things that people wouldn't normally mix, like mixing resin with acrylics. People wouldn't know that's a thing if someone didn't eventually just try it.
I was thinking about doing resin, but I was like looking up videos and I got scared of it. It's like, oh,
resin actually isn't that scary. It's a lot of fun. That's one of the few things I picked up when I hit a plateau, but last year. So I made a little pencil case with resin. And then
nice.
Resin's beautiful. I'm scared of the chemicals of it. I was watching videos of horror stories. Like you need to have the proper gear apparently.
Not
You're
exactly.
Saying no.
So there is resins you can get that don't have fumes. Now they don't harden as bad. Like they're not as tough.
Okay.
But you can get the ones. So I do my resin in my house. Do have to wear gloves. But you can get the ones where the fumes are, as long as you have a window open, it's not bad. So the biggest thing is what type of resin you buy.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah, what's the type that you use that isn't as
I actually use a Canadian based brand. It's called Crystal Resin. I actually found them on Instagram. Their stuff is fantastic. They have a couple different types. The one I use though is the minimal toxicity one, so no fumes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I've done this, and then because I was doing this, I like Pokemon. I switched over. Now I don't have these out anywhere. I haven't really showed anybody any of them because they're just not where I want them to be yet.
Exclusive.
But I actually started making clear Pokemon cards.
Oh, that's fire.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's so that's crazy.
They're just a little bit too malleable right now, so it's not where I want it to be, but
that's
I just
awesome.
Wanted to mix the two together to try it because I remember in the 90s they had these clear Pokemon cards, and I've wanted them so bad to recreate them.
I'll buy the prototype.
I have a Bulbasaur. Of course I have Bulbasaur because It's my little ball.
Ooh.
Just for tour. Just for tour.
Oh my God. You already know. That is fire.
Well, Jenny,
So, and I've
thank you.
done all of the mediums. Like I made my shirt that I'm wearing. I've done shoe paintings. I have my little Cosmog
Damn, girl.
on my shoes.
Yeah, that is
So-
cool.
She's in deep.
Gotta
I
like
literally
that.
tried all. I cross stitch, like literally
Dang.
all of it. So
How do you balance all that?
I don't sleep.
And then you got kids? Dang.
I have one kid. That's
Okay, kid. Single kid.
But I have
Still.
dog. The
Still
dog's
though,
fine.
right?
Do you
Yeah.
start a piece and then not finish it for a while, or
Oh
how
my
long?
goodness. I have so many. It's not even
I
fun.
bet with so much different stuff. you do.
Stickers. I do stickers now. These are my JoJo Valentine's ones. So I really, really like.
I like those. Those are dope.
Were you selling at conventions before COVID?
No, actually I wasn't. I actually didn't start actually making stuff to sell till COVID hit when I had time off.
Oh my God.
These
Oh,
guys.
stop it.
Oh, yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah, they
So
are.
I just didn't have the confidence to actually start, and COVID kind of messed me up a little bit with my mental health. I got laid off and everything, so it kind of sucked. So counseling is good. So it helped. I just decided to make me push my way through. I spent the money. I bought a couple things I needed to actually print and cut, and it's helped a lot. And I have a shop open now and everything. So you just have to push through. And if you don't have the confidence, then you need to switch the people you have around you.
True.
Yeah, it's good to have a core group around you. It's tough to find them too, but that's what's been also good about the Pokemon community, man. All these freaking awesome people I've been finding and so supportive.
The people are amazing, and if you don't have the people in your real life, like physically around you, you can find them online. You can go into a community and find them. It's just you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah, you have to put effort into it. It's not gonna come to you. It's hard, but if you really want it, you gotta push yourself. Like Facebook groups, Instagram, TikTok is where I'm finding it. But yeah,
That's where I found it as well. I've had my Instagram for a long time, and I'm at like 300 and some followers. I come on TikTok and I have I think I'm at like 1,300 now, and it's been like next to no time.
I know
So-
Instagram, it just
It's a
stabbed
tough
me in the heart. It broke me. That's a platform I tried for years, just trying to figure out, and
There's no organic reach. None.
Nah, not
Not
anymore.
on Instagram.
for years, all the videos I watch, all the tips, all the influencers I listen to, oh, this is how you do that. Okay, I'll do it. And all the time I spent making posts and editing videos, nothing.
Right.
Then you get on TikTok, it's like, oh, okay, this is what it's
Super
supposed to be
organic,
like.
Uh-huh.
I was like, if I would have known this a while back, I would have been on TikTok a long time ago.
Oh, Plot have been on Musically.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Thank you, Jenny. JME, man. Thank you for waiting patiently. When did you start drawing?
I've been drawing since I was a kid. I was that kid that sat at his kitchen table with his headphones in. I just lost time drawing. I would draw with my little sister, and went from there. And then when I was in high school, I took I was in computer aided drafting, and I liked it, but I was like the kid that stayed after class. So my teacher actually taught me how to do decals with it. So I started doing that, and worked in a couple print shops, and I stopped drawing freehand for a long time, and I did Adobe Illustrator and stuff like that, and I would make decals, and I worked at a couple print shops, and it wasn't until like about a year and a half ago I got an iPad, and my wife got me the pencil for my birthday, and I just started drawing again. And then I tried TikTok. It was about 6 months ago, maybe 8, I can't remember, but it wasn't going anywhere, and I was drawing Pokemon, and I just kind of gave up. And then about a month ago, I started drawing the Pokeballs. I was just doodling, literally just sitting on the couch doodling, and I showed my wife, and she's like, wow, that's great. So I posted on Facebook. I got a lot of good feedback, and then I put it on TikTok, and now it's crazy.
Explain the
how
Pokeballs for people who don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so I take the Pokemon, I fuse it with the Pokemon. So I put their features and stuff on it. You get a lot of requests, so I have a lot of them on there right now. I've only been doing it for about a month and a half. So.
Do you have one on you that we can look at?
Oh yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, they come out really well.
I had it loaded up here. This one's actually my favorite one I did. It's Ash Greninja.
Oh wow, dope.
That's really
That's
cool.
crazy.
That's cool.
Then this one's one of the favorites on there. I did Lucario.
Okay, that's pretty
Dope.
neat.
Smart, you're doing the fan favorite Pokemon. Good idea.
Well, I take the suggestions, and I'm that person that goes and reads every single comment and makes sure I get the first one and everything. And
Good.
you know, I don't like to do the popular ones all the time. Like I did Charizard and Lucario and Tyranitar, but I also did Raichu and I did Alola Marowak and stuff like that. So like I try to mix it up a little bit, but it seems like people like the simple ones. I did Voltorb. So
Wait, how would you do a Voltorb?
Let me see if I can pull it up on. Actually, I have another Pokeball that I just drew.
I mean, isn't Voltorb already made for you?
Right?
Sort of. Yeah.
Let's see what his artistic take was on this. I'm very curious.
Very round.
Oh,
I would hope so.
He changed it up. He made a cube.
It's a Pokeball.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So I used to that. Well, I did Electrode too, and I just turned it upside down. Everybody went crazy for it.
That is hilarious.
That must have been the easiest content for you to make.
Yeah. Well, I started off with a bunch of Pokemon, and they're all like, "Do Voltorb." I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it on there and see what happens, and it's like my best video.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
yeah, going back to TikTok, man, it as good as it is and better than any other platform I've used, it is not promised that you will just automatically blow up or videos are going to do well. Even with my follower count, which I'm at 85K right now.
Which is dope.
It's dope. Yeah, I'm not trying to brag. It's like, but it's with the algorithm. It's like I'm at 2,000 followers because like literally like people aren't seeing stuff. So I'm not saying that's a complaint. I'm just saying to the people like there's gonna be ups and downs, but just stick with it and like something's gonna break. And if your videos aren't working out, you gotta keep testing new things, see what videos work for other people. Like recently I've been looking at Pokemon card art and see how he does his videos, which are like I paint cards and he paints cards, but he has 1 million followers. So like maybe I should learn from this guy. So I've been looking at his videos, seeing how he does it. And yeah, I just suggest that learn from people who are successful and get tips from them if things aren't working out. Keep experimenting.
Also helps if you like take something that someone like if you see a post and someone's like, hey, can someone like it'd be really cool if someone mixed this and this together. And if you take that and use their audio, if they have more followers than you will get followers from that.
By taking their audio, you're saying?
Yeah. But like for the sample, this guy here got me 800 followers.
Yeah.
Got me 800 followers because someone said, a guy was like, I was making my eggnog and it made me think of allspice. And I was like, I can draw that for you. Because he was like, can someone make this? So I made it. And literally, that video I have of this got me 60,000 views.
Wow.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Allspice.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what video is gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
There's sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason. It just hits.
It just happens, right?
Yeah.
It's so true. I made one video it was like the least effort I've ever put into anything. I just put up like, hey, if you open your mystery box today on the Switch, you get a free Pikachu. I was like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm just letting you know. And it's like, I look back 2 days later and it's like 160K. And I'm like, for what? Like,
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm like, what did I do? What did I say? It's just TikTok's algorithm is weird.
It's just super
weird.
organic. It's super organic, and there's nothing more organic than literally second in line is here's one a lot of people don't think about, LinkedIn. It's second in the lead for organic growth.
Gary V's talked about LinkedIn.
I was about to say, like, you've listened to a lot of Gary Vee, haven't you?
How do you use LinkedIn for reaching people?
LinkedIn initially was for business people, suit and tie type stuff.
Yeah.
But it's been ready for individuals like us, like artists, you know what I mean? Like kind of outgoing people that aren't so into the necessarily suit and tie thing. Not that any of you are, maybe some of you may be. I'm not. I don't like suits, they're too tight. But I kind of like to just chill. And recently I've noticed that you can go on there, you can post something and you might get 100 views, you might get 1,000, you might only get 4. But the organic growth is still better than Instagram and Facebook.
So are you just posting a photo of your artwork, and do you use hashtags? Or like what kind of content?
Yeah, you can use so kind of same thing. Use hashtags, you know, a couple, not too different than TikTok. Hashtags don't always mean the same on, you know, platform to platform, so it depends. But on LinkedIn, they're okay, but you don't have to go too crazy. I just throw up some of my art, and sometimes, like, you know, people see it, sometimes they don't. But it's a good way to just kind of put things out there in long form. As far as like typing word goes, people read on LinkedIn. That's a better way to put it. They're used to long text, so you can go on there and people will actually read your blogs and stuff like that.
And that's just a completely different way of connecting to you, like learning about you. That's awesome.
Yeah, just a different way for sure. Right now, the best is TikTok. So if you're on TikTok and nowhere else, that's still a lot better than if you were on Instagram, Facebook, and I don't know, some other thing that isn't relevant anymore. TikTok's just that much better than all of them. So if you're doing that, you're doing the right thing.
And I invested so much time in Instagram, like
Me too.
and it took so so many years just to get like maybe 1,000 followers.
I'm telling you,
I get on
right.
And
I know.
And I get on TikTok for like 1 week and I'm already at like 1,000 something off of like one video. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna stick to TikTok.
And like the followers, they're passionate, man. They love you. Like
Well,
when you have.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Still getting used
And
to
that's
that.
the thing. Like Instagram, you have like 1,000 followers and you post something, you get like 5 likes.
Yep.
And I don't understand that. And TikTok, you post something, you will get the likes that, you know, that kind of are closer to your follower number. But yeah, Instagram, I don't know.
Who did I not talk to yet? Pokeben, did I talk to you? Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Rusty V, did I talk to you?
Probably me.
That was
I
like
didn't.
Tor, I definitely did not.
Tor and Ben for sure. But Scott, did you go? Yes, Scott did go.
Yeah, I went.
Ben, when did you start drawing, my friend?
That's a great question. So I started drawing. It wasn't Pokemon. It was actually Dragon Ball Z. I was obsessed drawing the Super Saiyan here, and me and Rusty had some stories on his live. But yeah,
it was nothing but DBZ for me.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z was the hit. But first love, of course, was Jungle Set Pokemon. Drawing wise, you know, as a kid, I drew here and there. When I went to high school, I did some art classes, and then I kind of like just took a break. But during like the summers of, you know, my 14, 15, 16 years, I was doing graffiti. So I was like tagging on walls, tagging on, you know, anything I can. So I was a tagger. I was doing graffiti. So I'm kind of diverse in my ways. So free art wise, like pencil and drawing, not so much. As I got older, I got into a solar company that I'm working for. It's been like 5 years now, and so I've been in a door-to-door position, and then promoted to marketing manager. So I do a lot of marketing. So my art is mainly more on the, I would say, graphic design tool. If you guys use Canva, you know, it's not like a Photoshop, but it's a app that I definitely like using. What got me started on like logo wise was I like to support TikTokers. TikTok is like the best. I got started back in like January, February of 2020, and then I did something like my daughter like introduced me to TikTok, and she I was doing dances honestly, but it was just for fun, and then it was just like some comedy stuff I did, and then I posted some of my work stuff for like solar, and then I got to a point where I like I know we're getting off topic off art, but it goes into a story to the logos here. Fast forward to 1K. I'll probably tell this story another day, but when I hit 1K, it was an awesome feeling. And then I started going to a lot of live streams and supporting like TikTokers like that. Weren't that big. They were like just hitting 1K. I was at 2K. I was just supporting. And I met this guy. His name was Pokey Opens, and he did dollar packs. Like just like me in Evolutions at the time. And he was like, hey, if someone can draw me a logo, that'd be awesome. And so I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow. So I hopped online on my app. And I did something quick off only just on Google and just do something quick, do the text, and then showed it to him like the next day on live stream. And so he ended up like I sent him the email the next day, and he was like, "Let me check it out." And so he checked it out on live, and his son was like, "Oh my gosh, he did that!" And I was just like,
good feeling, right?
Yeah, it was just a great feeling. Like, oh wow, like maybe we can get to something like this. So I just kept like supporting TikTokers, and I would just do like free logos for people that would want them, and I just started working on them each and every day. And I think one of my highlights of the logos were 23K Poke Shop, because he was like I think he was at 23K, 24K when I met him. And he was in his garage, and I'm like, hey, like, I'd like to do your logo. And so he let me show you guys. Took like 2 hours, and it was a great feeling because I was able to work with him on Instagram at the time. But,
yeah, like a client. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see here. I can't share it, but on my Instagram, you guys will see it. But that's kind of like what kind of broke me out of the shell. Like, man, like if I can do this, why can't I do it for other TikTokers? Like, so like right now, what I'm doing, instead of just like selling it, I'm selling it, of course, $20, buy one get 3 free. I do like giveaways too. Like if someone gets the energy, we'll play a game, and if they win it, I'll make a free custom logo for them. And so I love doing that for TikTokers. Sometimes I'll just do it just because I want to give back. And like Funny Quarantine too. He got banned for his first live, and I'm like, I'm gonna make him a logo, man. Like, so he had to make a second account. He called himself Funny Quarantine too, and I'm like, what's your favorite Pokemon in color? And so I just threw something together and got it done. And then one of like the top ones that like really hit me was Dottie Kimchi. So he's a upcoming Aussie TikToker. He has incredible lives. He's Filipino. Shout out to the Filipinos out there. And I've been, yeah. Thank you. So he I met him 3 a.m. I'm telling you, I've been going live on like international, so I sometimes I'll stay up like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'll stay up for those international lives. And I met him 3 a.m. I'm like, who is this guy on live opening Pokemon packs? And ever since then, he hit I think 2K. He did a super live about a week or two ago, and I've never seen anyone do this. He hit 700. It was like I think from 1:30 a.m. to 3 a.m. and I was working on his logo while he was like opening packs.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at 100 viewers, and then he shot up to 700. It was like incredible. I've never seen that happen in my life. But besides Gary V in 5 minutes, but that's a really super short story about what I do for the community. TikTok is the best community over Instagram. Instagram is awesome, but it's just not like I feel like Instagram's like super quiet for me. It's not home, So TikTok is definitely the home.
Mhm.
And yeah, I love doing logos for the fellow TikTokers. You know, for the kids that can't afford it, the TikTokers, the famous Chip 23 Puppy Shop, and then everyone else that's up and coming. So
Yeah, I've noticed you've quickly grown just from doing that kind of stuff, making yourself prominent in the community, hopping in everyone's lives, doing free logos, which is crazy. That's very, very nice of you, but we got to talk to you about that one.
Yeah,
We got to
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want
start
to say
charging.
nothing, but I was like,
No, this is the artist live show. All right, we got to help him out there, man. But yes, you're practicing. Yeah, I see you getting better and like honing your craft. So like, I started like that too, man. You charge low and do free stuff too, but can't do that forever.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Ben. Tor, when did you start drawing, man?
I was about 10. It wasn't super duper early. I guess 10's still a little early, but definitely around 10 years old when I started watching Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
On TV. That was the first. I think I just didn't have it in me before that, but I was watching Sonic the Hedgehog and I loved everything about him. And then I immediately was looking at the background and the animations, and I was like, how would anyone even ever do something? How am I even watching this? I had a lot, I had a lot of thoughts, when I was a kid. But cool. So I took a regular sheet of paper because I was like a science kid when I was younger, or whatever, in advanced science classes, whatever. But I was kind of like, I had an idea if I would stick a piece of paper on the TV screen, if it would stick, and it did. On the old TVs, if you put it there, it'll stay. And then I started tracing. I would record the shows on my VHS, and I started tracing on the TV. So I started with like that around like 10 years old. And then I kind of just went on to be creative after that for a while. There was a lot of like discouragement. Like a lot of people said, hey, this is great. Like, you're young and you're good at it. But I didn't take it serious. Mm-hmm. Not even all through, not in middle school, not high school. High school, I was getting hired through some sort of, I don't know, they pick a few art students out of the school, I guess every few years or whatever. And you'd go to this thing, it would be a few artists, and you'd have to go through these tests. I think it started out with about 10 of us. You have to go through these tests and you either pass or fail. There was like 5 tests. No, there were 3 tests. And
how'd you get to start taking tests for that? Did you have to apply for that?
I think it was through, it had everything to do with the school board and decisions they made. So I didn't have anything to do with it. I guess you can be known for art in the school. Wow. Or in the high school that I went to. I kind of stood out that way because I was doing murals around then in my city, like big murals on the side of buildings and stuff. That's cool. And that's the kind of work that I was doing. But I didn't have the mind enough to realize that I could have really done something with that early. So I ended up moving out of town by the time I was about 20, 21. And I just didn't think about art. I was drawing once every like 4 months. Just traditional art. I was really into Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, stuff like that. So that's kind of like what I was drawing. Did a lot of making my own characters. And then I just went dormant for like a few years, probably from like 21 to 25. I might have drawn like 3 pictures. And I didn't pick it back up because I'm 31 now. I didn't pick it back up until I was about 27. And I went to draw this Gengar with a stippling because I got into stippling. And I was drawing this Gengar, doing these dots or whatever. And I picked up stippling within like a week. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And I did a Gengar and I liked it so much that it just kind of like, I started drawing maybe twice a month, which was a lot for me at the time. And I thought about one day after I was watching a ton of Gary Vee, Chris Doe, people like that. I was watching too much Gary Vee, and I was like, oh man, like I used to make excuses like, oh, I'm a minority, I can't do it. Oh, man. But after watching his content, I ran out of every excuse I've ever had in my life. it was almost painful. I was like, oh my God, I'm just lazy. I was like, I just want stuff to come to me. I don't want to like go get it. I was like, that's foul. So I fixed that mentality.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah, so it took a minute, but so I started to fix the mentality by I set a schedule to draw for about, when I first started doing it, I was able to draw for about 6 to 10 hours a day until I was like dead from it. I mean, because I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do, but this was in the process of learning digital art. I'd never done digital until about 3 years ago. And that was after I discovered Gary Vee. And that was like my start of like, okay, let me increase my skill level because I suck. And then I'll try to turn it into a craft or a way to make people happy. So my second best love in life, my first is art. And second is positivity. So I learned color science because I wanted to find a way, because I was going to focus on being a speaker for positivity, but art took over. And I was like, no, I want to do that for sure now. But how can I mix the two? So I researched a ton of things about colors and how they make people feel, and decided that in my art, I was going to use subliminal color messages to make people feel better. And I've told a few people about this semi-recently, but it's not something I speak about because it's not really that important for me to put it out there. It's going to happen without you knowing it. But, you know, I just want everyone to be happy, but I want to do my own thing and not devote my life to being a positivity speaker. So I'll draw, which is the thing that I really love. And then I'll just use these colors and draw things that I like and put it out there. And if somebody likes it, then, you know, if someone gets happy off it, great. And then that went way further since I got on TikTok. It went way further than I thought it would once I got on here. Because like the responses I was getting back was like very positive and pretty much never negative. So I just like, it pushed me to like learn like faster and faster. So I got into, so I just started following the dream. I got into drawing really detailed stuff and exploring color, because I didn't draw with color ever until I started digital a few years ago. And that kind of took off quick because I actually was drawing for that amount of hours every day, because it was before I had my last few kids, so I had time. And so I just did that. My wife thought it would be a good idea for me to focus on that as a job and do that instead of get a 9-to-5 like we had before. So really it was her. She allowed it. She thought it was a good idea. So I said, bet. So I just kept drawing. And within the year, I got hired as a freelance artist for a company in the UK, which is a media company. And it happened really quick. And after that, it just got crazier because I was still watching Gary Vee because that was the information that was bringing me along. But then I started to get to the point where I could actually really, really like draw stuff. And like, I don't know if you can see this. Where's this at? This was like something I did, I think like this is actually a year and a half old or something, but I really like plant stuff. So you'll see a lot of that in the things that I do, but Pokemon definitely is probably like 80% of what I draw because it motivates me. And like this Mew is probably one of the hardest ones I ever did on my
Tor.
Yeah,
You see this?
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
my
of colors, this makes me so happy.
Yeah, the clouds. I don't know why that took me 13 hours to do compared to a lot of the other things that I did, because drawing the sky, I really like clouds. So I wanted to be good at that. But
so
a lot
fluffy.
of these, I mean, it took so much longer than I thought. And I literally had to come back to this drawing like a whole month and a half later almost, because I had to stop because I just couldn't go further because I think I didn't have the knowledge. And then I redid it. The whole thing changed. I just took it from where it was, but it's probably still the hardest one I did. And my wife recently came out with this way to print my stuff to where it has like, they're going to be called like diamond prints. So this Mew is actually, I don't know if you can even see it, but it has like this sparkle effect to it. And it's like really like cool. Really like hard paper, but it looks crazy. It's almost iridescent. but we
It
haven't
looks
put
so
them out
much
there.
nicer when you actually look at it. I was on the live when you were showing that off. It is sparkly and amazing.
I was wondering if people could like tell, because like up close, I was like telling Danny, my wife, I was like, I cannot even believe like what you just discovered by doing that. Like I got sucked into detail so much that my art started to take 8 hours, 10 hours, and then like for that Mew that took 13 hours. And that hurts my souls because with 4 kids, that takes me about 2 weeks to actually do at the time that I did it. So I recently developed a simpler style that only takes me about 10, 20, 30 minutes or so to like do these. And it's symmetrical. It's really easy trying to like find ways to simplify them. And then I tried it on people. Like this is Goku. It works on pretty much anything. Just so I can switch between detail. But all of this stuff, and now we do stickers, because what I've always wanted to do is make people happy with my art and get into the sticker game, because I super love stickers. So my wife's been cutting all these stickers out with the new machine, and it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control. Like there's too much I can do now. I drew this last night, and she like put this one up, and
That's cool.
I don't know. Like there's a lot of that going on, and also the focus on like my my actual like original work and things like that. So it's
cool.
That's kind of like where I've come in the past 3 years, and my wife's been a big part of that. So I like to say that, you know.
Great, you have a good support system.
For sure, lucky enough.
Rusty, have we talked to you yet?
Yeah, I think I was like second.
Did we cover that question with everyone?
I think so.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hit the YouTube chat room.
What's your channel name, by the way?
Manny Simone Cards.
I should have known.
I keep it simple. I keep it simple, bruh. Okay, so I got one question here. This is interesting. Like we're all artists. We have different backgrounds. We've drawn many different things with different mediums. But why? How did we decide on Pokemon? We all have that in common. We're all right now are doing some sort of Pokemon artwork. How do we land on that?
It hits me in the nostalgia. I don't know about you guys, but it like brings out my inner kid, and I'm like living my own 5-year-old brain dream right now. Like I feel like that's the best feeling ever.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah,
I didn't have like the best growing up, and Pokemon made me attached to things that weren't people because I didn't like the people in my life. And even now, it's like every time I see a Pokemon, I'm like, oh, that Pokemon's fantastic. It looks like this. It can do this. What can I mix that Pokemon with? What if this Pokemon had a pre-evolution? I can make that.
I think the majority of us are born in the 90s, I'm assuming. Or like
yes,
late 80s.
Yeah.
And like
Late 80s,
I think
87.
I was reading like a random article where it's like talking about how millennials grew up in a time where things were like the best in the US, like for the most part, like the economy was doing well, your parents had good jobs, stuff of that nature. And like Pokemon has that nostalgia factor. And like with us, we're like in the real world now, we're seeing everything's like, lack of a better word, horse poop. I almost not to caught myself. And like life is hard when you grow up and you have a kid or you have kids or you're on your own, you're paying for bills, you're living, I don't know, some people are living paycheck to paycheck. And like you look at a Pokemon card, you think about 7 years old hanging out with your neighborhood friends or your cousins or your little sister or whatever the case may be. And it just like, it brings you into like a safe space. That's something I think like really resonates with a lot of people. And that's why Pokemon keeps coming back. And then you pass it on to the next generation. Then it comes back again. So like I was talking to people at my local card shop. We're like, Pokemon's IP is probably never going to die just because of that fact alone. Even though like scalpers or whatever come in, it's hard to get product. The game is always going to be there. You're going to give your kid a Switch because you love Pokemon. And that passion is going to start up again. And then they're going to realize life is hard. They're going to see a Pokemon card. They'll be like, oh, damn, I remember back in the day when such and such. And I think that's the power that the Pokemon IP has over us and like pretty much anyone who's a fan of it.
Yeah, I think it has lots to do with nostalgia. I mean, like you said, for growing up in the 90s, like for me, I was just drawing just random stuff. And then I started picking up Pokemon Go again because I stopped playing a long time ago. I picked it up again. I don't know. It's just the possibilities to draw Pokemon is endless. Like there's so many, and you can do anything with them. Like you could grab, I don't know, a Charizard and a Growlithe and figure something out to put them together. I don't know. I mean, there's so many Pokemon now, especially now with the new gens. And one thing is that I've literally played every Smash game and owned every Super Smash Bros. Game since the 64.
Dang.
So, and even now, I mean, I go to tournaments. Me, my brother, and cousins and friends. Every month there's a tournament here locally, and we go every month. We're loyal, and so, and I mean Incineroar. So I mean, it's just
Incineroar,
you know,
man.
it's just yeah.
Rare,
So
dude.
it's like Pokemon's just there. Like regardless if I try to ignore it, it's just there. I mean,
Follows you.
might as well embrace it.
100%.
Just never stop playing.
Never stop playing.
Nope, I've been playing since Red and Blue. I never stopped playing.
Dang, not for 1 year.
Nope.
Not for one.
That's impressive, man. I stopped like XY and I came back.
Yeah, I think
After
XY was the last one. I
Never
really-
stop.
well,
You never stop.
Did
That's
anyone
right.
read,
Was
did
that?
anybody read that Diamond and Crystal are gonna get redone?
Oh, so they're
I
trying
heard
to take
about
more of my
that.
money, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
They can have my money.
Right?
People love those games. I never
Can't wait
played
for
them.
Pokemon Snap.
I never played them, but people
Oh,
like them.
Snap's
snap!
coming back
Oh yes, snap.
for sure.
Snap, I did play. I did love that game as a kid. Snap and Coliseum, or no, Stadium.
Stadium.
Stadium was like that was a whole nother world for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys play Hey You Pikachu? Remember that one?
Yes.
With the microphone on
Yeah,
the 64?
That whack microphone.
I never played that one, no.
hmm
I just remember my parents coming into the room telling me to shut up. Because I was too loud
Quiet
talking into
down.
the mic. Like, hey, keep it down. All right. My bad.
Pokemon, what do you want to say?
I mean, I want to go back to the profile picture. So, you know, we get to a certain level of, you know, 5K, 1K, 20K, 85K. So before this profile picture, I had a shiny Charizard. So when I hit a certain level of, I think 5K, I was like, I got to step it up to a VMAX. So I think that's one thing, you know, evolutions is, you know, you're growing. So why not update your profile picture? Why not, you know, turn to a VMAX, you know, or there's so many kids that want, like, I want a Machop with a Bulbasaur and a Charmander. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, let's do it.
That's true. A lot of people that hit me up for logo design often say stuff like that. They're like, well, I mean, I'm growing. I feel like maybe I should get serious about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel that.
But
I feel like I need an intro for the show.
Russ. He did my logo.
Appreciate you. Much love, brother.
But yeah, I think it's important because it's the face of your profile. Like it stands out too. Like, you know, I'm not trying to brag, but every time I go to a live, someone's like, "Oh man, I like your profile picture. Cool." Like, but I'm gonna start supporting that TikToker, and if you know, like 23K Pokeshop, he was like, "Yo, I'm at 30K. I'm almost at 30K. I need a new profile picture." So his profile picture at the time on his website, that was his before profile picture. It was like a hidden a ho-ho, and I'm like, why not like he's had a platform, you know, a turn to a 30K, he's growing, why not show that ho-ho? And that's one thing. And then fun in quarantine, I think he had some type of Pokemon, and I'm like, his favorite Pokemon is Mewtwo. So when he made a new profile, I'm like, well, okay, so he's a Mewtwo. Why not transform him to a, you know, I think it's I don't know what type of Mewtwo this is, but it's a super form where it goes in with that quarantine because he's wearing a mask. It's just phenomenal. And then PokeJ, before he hits 8K, I believe, he had 2 Charmanders.
Mhm.
And so he's like, yo, you got to update my profile picture. I need to hit 8K, 9K, 10K. And so I'm like, well, I got you. So I'm really close to PokeJ, by the way. So I just do all the char again through all the evolutions, and then it just turned out really great at the end of it. So that's
On that
what
topic,
I'm talking about.
profile pictures are very important. I know when I'm going through TikTok and when I like hit that thing and I see the lives, and when I see someone's profile picture that I recognize, I will stop in, give a couple TikToks, say hey, tap the screen a bunch, and then carry on.
Respect.
Having a recognizable profile picture.
Something that pops, something that stands out, it makes you look more official. Like, okay, you're a serious content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can definitely tell like who are kids on here on the app, and you know they just watch videos, and I can tell who makes the videos from the profile picture usually.
Yeah,
this is a good point. I got to update my profile picture now. Dang.
So nice.
I got a good deal. Pokemon special. So.
Yeah, we're gonna start doubling your prices as well, Pokemon.
Oh my gosh, we could go all night about that. Oh my goodness.
He's like charging like $20 for the logo. All the way. Like, come on.
It used to be 15. It used to be 15. You know. But
Shoot.
Yeah, we gotta talk to Barry about. I was yelling at Barry about the same thing.
Same thing. I sell my cards for like $15.
His cards are 15.
No.
Yeah, I do that. I do that because it's kids, you know. I'm like, oh, some kids can't afford it.
They're new artists. They're just getting into it, man.
Yeah.
They're still learning. They haven't suffered like we've suffered for years.
Right.
Yeah, the same thing with what Ben was saying. You know, my followers is a bunch of kids. I don't want to charge them too much money. It's like $15. You can have my cards.
Fair.
I can understand that if your audience is like kid focused, even if it's not on purpose, there just happens to be a lot of kids on the app.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely understand that one for sure. I didn't understand it until I started studying under a professional logo maker named Chris Doe, and through his content I get yelled at for I was doing logos for like $30-$40. This guy he made me feel like dirt about it, and he explained why and the logic to it, and then you kind of realize something. We think as artists that we set the market and the price, but you don't. And real quick, here's what I mean by that. There are some nice shirts out there that it's made out of a particular type of wool. It's like $160 for 3. Now, a lot of people might be like, whoa, that's crazy. But there are hundreds of thousands of people out there that would see that deal and go, oh my gosh, that's a good deal. You don't set the price. So we have to get that in our heads that sometimes it's okay to charge 50, 60, because just as well as there'll be people who come at you when you sell it for 15 or 20, there's going to be people who come at you who think you're worth it, even if it was 50 or 100, 150. And that's the zone of my logo design. And I have no problem, getting people who believe that I'm worth it. So there's a few different approaches, but I do understand what you're saying, that conflict with, how can you ask a kid for, if you know they're a kid, how can you really talk to them like a
for me it's
person.
easy. They'll when I'm painting the card, this is how easy it is. When I'm painting the card, and they're like, oh awesome, how much is it? $40-$50, and then they just go radio silent. Okay, that's my art isn't for you, and that's fine. You just like Tor's saying, there's people in the world that will pay for your arts, and not everyone will, but there's people that will, and
they're certainly there.
And 40 is 50 is like, that's, I want to charge more, but right now I'm like, I just now started doing the card art. It takes time, man. It's like, what do you think you're worth? Like your time, you're like spending 4 or 5 hours on a card. Like if I'm thinking hourly, like I'm more than $10. I think 20, 25, 30, but it's like, especially the years it took me to get this good. Everyone wants to compliment me and say how incredible it is, but they don't want to pay for it. Bye-bye.
Right, yeah.
You gotta pay for your schooling. Simple.
Yeah, about the logo. So 23K Pokeshop. So I had it for 15. He actually paid me like a little extra, and then sent me some gifts. So
nice.
I mean, I'm like, he has a website full of Pokemon cards. I'm like, well, let's see what I get out of this.
I don't blame them for like the buyer buying for that price, because of course they want the deal. It's up to the artist, the seller. It's on them.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You also got to study the marketing aspect of it too, because I was actually sitting there for a while trying to figure out how much I should charge for my custom cards and my quality compared to everybody else's quality that's going out there. And I've seen people charging $30-$40 for a custom card, and that's painted and everything. And then I turn around and see people doing like metal cards, and they're charging $12-$13. And I just kind of just sat there and I just, you know what? I'm gonna put up a price, and if I don't get no sales, then I'm gonna drop it. And then if I start getting a whole bunch of sales, then I'm gonna increase the price by a certain amount to make a happy medium to where I'm making enough sales and enough money at the same time. And ever since I did join TikTok, I kept my price at $15, and a lot of people like that price, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, really? That's it?" I'm like, yeah, a custom card takes me sometimes an hour, maybe 2 hours tops to do, and it's not like the most fancy thing out there, but it's like,
how long you been doing it for? I'm
custom
curious.
cards, 2 months.
Yeah. 2 months. See, if you're watching yourself get better, because for one, no matter what you're doing, you're not going to go off the gate being the best you can at it. You're going to wake up one day and realize you're the most savage on the planet. And then you're going to a better way to say that is if you're seeing yourself get better, you're going to have to charge more eventually. Like your skill level is increasing. You're able to do more. Like imagine starting out at 15 and then 5 years later, you're still at 15, but now your stuff is sophisticated in this way that it absolutely wasn't at first, because naturally you're going to get better and grow at anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's for sure. That's why I'm still at this level, because I'm only 2-3 months in, and I started off with doing marker work like this and mashups, which is kind of like this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's
Ooh, okay.
This is a venomized Dragonite, and I love doing marker work, and that's always been my thing. And I just picked up painting cards, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that for myself, because I was like, I want to. The first card I ever made was like a shining a shiny Charizard, but in one of the OG forms. And then someone was like, "Hey, can I buy that off you?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Are you serious?" And then I was like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "How much do you charge?" I was like, $12. And then he was like, "That's it?" I was like, "Yeah." It took me like 45 minutes to do, because it was like really quick. I didn't know what I was doing. He was like, "All right, cool. I'll even send you extra for shipping." I was like, "You don't need to do that, And then I went for like 2-3 weeks on a slump of not selling or doing anything. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm just going to do my main stuff, which is paint work or marker work. And then I got on TikTok and I started putting up some of my old stuff. And then left and right, people were like, oh, I want to buy a card. Can you do mashups of this, do mashups of that? And I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm like making all these cards and getting a lot of people following me. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy. I think I need to step up my game and just keep putting it out there.
Love to hear it.
Yeah. People are starting to buy cards. Like, again, I'm new to painting cards thanks to Yo Barry Yo. He got me into it.
Right.
No, he stole it from me.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about
Don't take a month off, or Manny's gonna take whatever you're doing. And
He was. That's funny.
turn that into his TikTok
Okay,
page.
he took a break and I saw the opening. That's it. He went back to work. What's wrong with that?
Took advantage.
He went to go provide for his family, and I went to go provide for my TikTok. Anyways, now that I'm selling more cards, I'm wanting to up the material I use, because at the moment I use because Barry told me about this, just like Walmart acrylic paint. But now I want to buy more expensive paint, make the cards look better, and I'm guessing if you spend more money on paint, it's gonna work better for you as well.
Is that water barrel or apple barrel?
Apple barrel.
Apple barrel, yeah, matte acrylic.
That
Quick
is
drying.
all you need, because like I'm working on this right now, and it's
Ooh,
super detailed.
Stop it.
Okay.
Apple barrel.
Well,
do
you're
us like that.
talented as heck. Guys,
Man.
everyone, you need to check
I
out her
haven't seen that
Instagram.
work yet. I've definitely not
Her
seen that.
This-
Instagram, it's the best card art I've seen to date.
She on
What,
Instagram.
what's your handle?
Yeah,
real
it
quick?
put me to shame.
It's just hugamouse.art.
Hug a mouse.
I'm telling you, she's very
Oh.
talented.
So this the other day I did my first ever raffle for a card because a lot of my friends in the community, they sell their products from raffles, like just packs or booster boxes and stuff. So I decided to try it. So I started doing one of these Alolan Ninetales, and then somebody's like, "Oh, can I just buy it right now?" And I'm like, "I'm doing this for a raffle, so but I could make you one too, like as a normal commission." And then I was like, I kind of want to do my own. So I'm right now working on 3 of them, and it's really painful
Wow.
because like doing 3 mountains in a row, these are like very.
Your painting technique is mwah.
I know.
Dang.
I
It's
appreciate it.
realism.
Yeah, I kind of try to match based upon the card's art itself, and this one is, as you can see, just like super detailed and realistic. So each one painting, or each one like little mountain section took up to like 30-40 minutes. So doing
You
3
you
of them at
understand
once.
lighting.
Paint. If you
And then
switch
why
paint,
aren't you doing TikTok?
honestly, this paint will help you out so much because you actually you need to dilute it for what you're doing, so you'll get way more out of it
Okay.
than what you have.
Okay.
So you go with that, and then you just get the diluter.
Okay. Yeah.
for it.
Mhm.
Is it like somewhat expensive though? Like I'm still in college, so my only
so-
money is from commissions right now.
I wait till Michael's gets the coupon.
Okay.
And then I do the four. So I spent about, it was $50, and I got a huge array of colors. The only color I don't buy in this, because I use so much of it, is blacks. But you can get them in like, when I bought them in like a bundle, because it came in a bundle, which came with 2 whites and then a bunch of other colors, because you can dilute it with white as well.
Okay.
I dilute with this, but I also dilute with just the same paint that you're using now to get a smoother consistency. But this here, honestly, my painting game, I've never bought expensive paint in my life because I was like, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. And then I bought it and I was like, why have I not done this?
How do you get the
maybe-
Michael coupon?
The
Just sign up
website?
for the,
It's just on the
email.
website?
You just go on the website and then you just show it to them. They'll scan the bar scanning.
And
They have
the reason I
Pokemon cards
did
there too, right?
Yeah, but they're overpriced.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're way overpriced.
You said that real
like, easily.
fast.
I've been hunting.
See, I don't really know a lot about the Pokemon card art. It's all new to me, until I got a TikTok.
Yeah, we all do something different here. Yeah.
But what is the highest that you or anyone, what is the highest that they've charged for a Pokemon card artwork?
Well, La Numbra, she was kind of one of the people who started it like a few years ago. A commission from her right now is $150,
That's what I
and
Right.
yeah. So
It's a painting.
other card, huh?
Oh no, I
Painting.
was just
It's a
saying. I mean,
painting.
it's a painting.
So, yeah,
It's-
that's a
that
painting,
takes
usually.
some.
Yeah.
I feel that. Good,
Like,
Chris.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I know-
honestly cheap sounding to me. Like even then, like I would be willing to like fork out even more for that. Like
Yeah,
custom
she
art.
does. She does beautiful stuff, and yeah, like I'm really slow at painting, so mine can take like 8+ hours because I just don't have as much experience yet. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my same price for now until I kind of like grow and whatnot.
One of
Okay.
you that does the painting, please try doing resin over the top.
I
actually,
was
like,
I was
feel it.
gonna do that. Yes,
I currently just use actually I have it right here.
I wanted to do that.
This beautiful
Mod Podge?
gloss coat.
Mm,
Yeah, that's what I use.
I just bought
I
some of
use
that
the same thing.
today.
Yeah, it works magic. It preserves your cards.
My only thing with the resin is I don't know if I have the best resin. It's just something that I found at Ace Hardware, and
mm.
I guess like pouring it over, I would want to make sure the card doesn't like warp at all and stuff and like stick to stuff. So that's my only concern with that.
I painter's tape around it on the edges, and then I use a Tupperware container with rocks.
Hmm.
So it sits on top.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you after this, Jenny.
And I feel like a lot of us have to now DM you about some tips and tricks. the
Believe me, I was
paint and
looking at.
everything.
I wanted to do resin over the cards, and I was watching YouTube tutorials, and then I got scared off by the people getting sick from the chemicals. But there's a better.
Like I said, if you don't need it to be like super tough, then you're fine.
Just a quick little resin story. I didn't really know how resin worked. I wanted to make my boyfriend, like if anybody's watched The Office, the whole Jim's
You put it in the
stapler and Jello. I was trying to make a giant thing of Jello out of resin, so I put like this much resin, and then it started getting really hot, like really hot. Like I had to take it outside, and I was still in college at the dorms,
Oh
so
no!
it was like steaming, bunch of smoke, and it was like extremely painful to hold. So I like rushed it outside, and I called my hall monitor guy and was like, I don't know if this is gonna set on fire. So luckily it didn't.
Resin has a thickness that it's allowed to go in. So when you buy resin, read the instructions on the back, because certain resins can only go so thick, or else
Yeah.
that happens.
It eventually
Good to know.
dried, but unfortunately, I had added too much color paint to it. I put in just acrylic paint into it, and it wasn't see-through enough, so it was a fail anyway.
The life of an artist, a lot of fails, but you learn from them. Speaking of the Pokemon card prices, Pokemon Shine Art on Instagram, she posted a Magikarp painting, and she did a live auction on that post. She's like, "All right, everyone, bid on it, and the next comment will be the outbid of your bid." And people kept bidding on it, and it went up to, I don't know, like $100 or something like that, and it was crazy. It started at $40, so that people charge different prices for the cards, and I understand it's very scary to charge money and want to up your price. I have a hard time doing it, but just hearing this makes me want to up my price. And again,
just do.
Yeah, just do it. You're gonna have more no's than yes, but again,
I felt bad after when me and Manny talked. I upped my price from 15 to 20, and I felt so bad for doing that. It's like, oh man, they're
It's real nice, and all part of being that as an artist is definitely not increasing prices, even by $1. It's like, oh,
It's kind of interesting with prices, because like if you take the risk and do like a whole bidding thing, you don't know if people are going to end up doing it, because like maybe they'll want a custom commission at that price, but they don't want that particular card you're showing for the bid. But something like I said I kind of did the other day, I did a raffle where I had 10 spots, and it was $6 a spot. And usually my card price is 40 plus shipping, so about 45. And this time I was able to get 60 for it, which was nice. And it gave people an opportunity to potentially get a card who couldn't necessarily afford the full commission price. So that's kind of like another interesting balance and way to.
I've been wondering about raffles. My wife's been kind of talking to me about them, and I've about raffling art or stick, whatever it may be. And I've been kind of trying to collect information on that, because as of now, similar to like increasing prices, where I don't feel weird about that, I have felt a little weird about like the whole raffle thing. Like, I don't, just because even like the form of payment, and like, I don't know, it's like, do people cash app you, or like, I don't know, it's all like makes me cringe a little bit, but I want to do it.
That's why I'm going to be doing it. I want to do a raffle when I finish this guy. I'm doing a little backpack.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I'm going to do a raffle for it. And what I'm going to make it is to pay me. You just have to go on my coffee and donate X amount. That way I have record of each person that did it and their information at that point. So you don't have to worry about using PayPal. So
it is a scary thing, because like I'm scared to like, what if no one wants to do the raffle and I put it out there, and like, what if 2 people do it? Like, oh, that sucks.
What I kind of do is, what I did for mine is I just had them comment on the post which slot they wanted, and then I DM'd them confirming, and then we got the payment settled out. And then that's kind of how I did it there. And my kind of thing was, if people didn't fill it up within a week, whoever's entered is entered, and I'll take the loss if not, because you know what? That's just how it is. It is risky.
When people get your products, they do post about them. Like, I do free sticker giveaways every well, I'm changing it from Sunday to Saturday now, because I'm going to do my lives on Saturday now, because it's easier. And I do free sticker giveaways every Saturday. But when they get them, like the last person that got them, he tagged me on his TikTok. He has way more followers than I do.
Oh, cool.
So now people are like, oh, hey, I like those. I'm going to hop over and follow that person. So even when you do something like that, and if you lose money on it, you can gain from it still.
It's free
I've gotten a
advertisement.
lot. I've gotten a
Yeah.
lot
It's
of
free.
sales
It's
from
free
people
as
being-
advertisement. So instead
Yeah.
of paying for it, you're
Do y'all
going by
have-
the word of mouth.
Do y'all have websites, or it's just through you, just Cash App, PayPal, or whatever?
I use Ko-fi for a shop because they just opened up a shop option, and then there's no
Ko-fi?
fees. Yeah, Ko-fi.
Huh.
So Kofi.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
I've been
Yeah.
using
So like I
Shopify.
paid $56 for the year. I can post as many things as I want. I have to put the shipping cost in, and the money goes directly to me, and it's instant. Like there is no like you have to make X amount. There's no wait. It just goes right to my PayPal.
There's no
Yeah,
fee.
like,
They give you like a fee on it.
What
So
I
you have
use,
to have a gold membership, and then
Uh-huh.
once you have a gold membership, you can open a shop. So my gold membership, because I paid for the year, was like $56, which was cheaper than all the other places. And then there's no fee on any amount of product that you sell. Plus, it's a donation site, is what it started as. So people can go in and buy you a coffee. So people go in, you set your donation amounts, and people buy you a coffee, and it donates to you.
Because I use Etsy, and I've been thinking about leaving Etsy for a very long time.
Etsy is rough.
I'm banned from
Yeah.
Etsy. I'm not allowed to sell on there anymore legally.
Why? What
What did you
happened?
sell?
Years ago when I was doing the T-shirt printing, just copyright stuff with the Marvel characters, anime. Everyone was cool. All the companies were cool because I'm a small time dude. No one notices me. The people that kept handing me the copyright was freaking Funimation, anime, my first love. They got me.
I heard Funimation really strict about that.
Yeah.
Not even that. Etsy's getting a huge attack right now for anything Nintendo based, Pokemon. Like, I have a couple friends that already got cease and desist. Like, they have till the 24th to take it down.
I was actually going to ask about that because we're all like Pokemon art creators. What's everyone's experience with selling? Like, obviously it's fan art, but companies like Nintendo, Game Freak, like they don't really care about that. And I've heard stories about people getting cease and desists and going through a whole like legal thing over selling some stickers or whatever.
The biggest thing is naming, the way you name your product. So I don't have any of the Pokemon names in any of my stuff.
Good
I
tip.
actually just use their number.
Okay.
So like, for example, this one here, because I already know his number. This guy here, the title for this guy is Sailor Scout, because Sailor Moon doesn't care. Like, no one's ever got a cease and desist for Sailor Moon, which is ridiculous. And I put Sailor Scout cross number 001.
That's smart. That's
So-
so
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great
Tor and I
tip.
were just talking about that before we started too, about like changing.
Yeah. Actually,
Wait,
I
wait.
just got and you were because was it Mezzalola? I
That's me.
think I realized that I had already been thinking it, and I noticed the crazy stuff that was going on with Twitter, and so I was like I said before, like I thought I had a little more time to kind of fix that, but so we went ahead and just took all of I think I have like 62 listings or something, and there's about to be way more than that, and I just changed everything from my tags, my descriptions, and took the name Pokemon and Pokey out of it. So it literally, so they would have to find me through the term monster, and that does hurt a lot of shops. But since I'm doing like really well on Etsy, I think that's mostly because I'm sure that's mostly because I'm directing my own traffic, and I know how to work ads. I don't pay for ads too much, but I'm really good at that, and so that kind of helps a lot. So I took all that stuff off there, and I won't hit the search engine. It messes with your SEO and your keywords and stuff, but like that's all good. It's unfortunate though for those who like don't have that as a skill set, because then you really gotta what do I do? Gotta take it down. And it's the only people that gave me trouble ever is Aniplex. I put up a simple Tanjiro, and it wasn't even up for that long, and they sent me like a decease, and they didn't want me to do it, but they gave me a chance. Like I got, it's not like they sue right away or anything like that.
Yeah, you get
because
some
of that.
warnings.
Yeah, they're not going to waste the resources.
I got
on
many
no-
warnings, and just eventually after the fourth one, I was out.
Yeah, I
The
got
only
the one.
reason
I'm like, ugh.
the only reason I don't leave Etsy, and it actually has nothing to do with Pokemon. My best-selling shoe. I don't know if y'all have heard of Topo Chico. It's mineral water. I did some of those shoes like 3 years ago, and then I put them on Etsy, and I've literally sold about 100 pair of those things. And I started at like $100. Right now they're at 250. I think and I wanted to touch on that because I was talking about gradually raising your prices. I just realized I was getting so like overwhelmed with the amount of shoes that I had to paint. And so then I got a Cricut machine. Then I got, the paints aren't cheap. Your brush, I got an airbrush. So you start thinking about all the investments that you're putting into this. So just so you could barely make a profit. So I was like, I want to see how far I could push this shoe and people still buy it. Once I realize people are not buying them, then maybe I'll go back down just a little bit or something.
That's
So
smart.
like I said, I started at 100 and I went to 150 and then 175 and then 200. And right now I'm at 250.
That's a great way to do that.
But on top of that, Etsy takes off so much. Like the percentage is like, what do I want to make? So I got to add on more so that I can make what I want to make. And so just recently I started posting the Pokemon shirts and stickers. So good thing, y'all mentioned about them putting down, getting to accounts about that, because I'm gonna start taking my stuff off too. Because that's probably, like I said, the only reason I don't want to take it off is because now I'm directing my own traffic when it comes to stickers and shirts. But the shoes, like every time that I've sold a shoe, it'll tell you whether it's your website, because you can have a website linked to your Etsy. And like mine is literally just candlecandoit.com. Like that's how I like it, because it's real simple. And so all my sticker and shirts are coming through Pattern, which is people watching my TikToks and going straight to my website. As for my shoes that I make way more than the stickers, those are coming from Etsy. So it's like, I feel like I can't get rid of Etsy just because they're the ones pushing the shoes that making a lot more money than the stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So I now feel like, because I've looked into Squarespace and all this other stuff, because you're really limited to what your website can look like. And that's what I hate. Like my website looks so janky. Like I wish I could be more like personalize it more. But
it works though. It works though.
Yeah. Ko-fi makes it so you can actually like put blogs up. You can have weekly posts, and when you post, if someone's following you, it actually notifies them when you post something new. So you can be like, hey, this is coming out. It's more like, it's like if social media met like Etsy.
I gotta look into that, man, because
And
to
that's
pay
the
for the
one-
year,
You can pay for the year and it's cheaper.
that's amazing. Because like I had Shopify before I had my Pokemon TikTok with the following. I had a Shopify. I sold fan art at conventions, and I had a website. And you spend the week or 2 weeks learning how to build Shopify and all the freaking complicated settings and everything, and then you pay for it monthly, $30-$40 a month. That's what I was paying. And then no one comes because I don't have the following. No one knows it exists. I know I have stuff people love and want that they would love to have it. They just don't know it exists.
If you go through my my like link tree, which is on my Instagram and on my TikTok, you can actually see what mine looks like. No, I literally just opened this up like 6 days ago, so I don't have a lot on there yet because I just finally decided to make the plunge on it. Another one to look at, I'm not sure if anyone's heard of it, is Big Cartel. Big Cartel, 10 items or less, it's free. If you do more than 10 items, I think it's $10 a month. But then you have up to, I think it's 50. So
Store and be similar to Big Cartel as well, something like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
Kobe just announced theirs. So
yeah, so whenever Torian, what do you call it? So when you were showing your stickers, about the Pokemon stickers and everything, that's kind of like, how do you go about doing your own artwork? Because I know like I could push Pokemon all day and people will probably buy. But one as an artist, you kind of want to piggyback off of that, and that way you can throw your own style, your own artwork that you want people to recognize you by. Like, hey, look, that's so and so's artwork, just because everyone has their own style. So like eventually, I want to do that. Have my own artwork that people will recognize. As of right now, I'm trying to piggyback off Pokemon. Get the audience. So I thought that was pretty cool that that you also have your own artwork, original artwork, as you
can. I knew exactly what I was doing in that sense from the beginning, because I know that the things burn out in some way or other, but you and your original ideas won't ever. So I knew that eventually I was going to have to and the following would just have to deal with it. I knew that eventually I was going to be showing off, mostly the original stuff, and I did a few posts with my original art, and people made me feel like 1,000 times better. Then there's that's its own thing, but I realized that, I was like, yeah, my original art is pretty good. I mean, I like it a lot. I like Pokemon, but as far as like my own worlds that I've created, I think I got to the point to where I can comfortably put that out there, even because it's just a good idea. And ultimately, I want to like that stuff more than Pokemon, if that makes sense. So
Does anybody
piggybacking
have
off of that,
their original art is like very different than their Pokemon art?
yeah, I don't. My Pokemon style is completely different than like if I just made up a creature on my own. It would never look the way. And that's an interesting thing. Save for maybe my detailed renders. But when it comes to just how I would draw that in a 2D style, I can tell just by thinking about it, they wouldn't come out. If I was drawing like my own made up creatures, I probably never would have discovered even the simple style that I recently came up with. It probably just would not have happened, because the inspiration directly came from wanting to draw Pokemon renders a little less, not other
That's what I
renders of
find.
like my stuff. Yeah. So like that
Like I
definitely
find
is a
like
thing.
my stuff, like my original stuff, is like very dark compared
Ooh.
to
I see. That's pretty sweet.
compared to my Pokemon stuff. So like when I
Yeah.
put that stuff up, it's such a
Totally different art.
contrast. Yeah. But I'm like, how do I even should I just make a separate shop for that at that point? Because the people that
Yeah.
are going to follow one, it's very hard for people to like one
Yeah.
and not the other. Like they don't tend to.
I thought about that too, because you hear a lot of times that it's good to have a niche. It's good to have a niche.
Mm-hmm.
It is good to have a niche, and your niche simply can be, this is the genre that you can find me drawing when I'm not doing my original work. You might catch me doing some Pokemon stuff. When I'm not doing that, I'm doing my original work. And I think that's a really good system. And then you have your people. For example, I have like 6, 7, 8 different styles that I have found through the years that the past 3 years for digital, that I found and I've probably gone through 20 or 30 different ones. And I was like, no, I don't like that. I'm not going to draw that way. And I found like a good 2 or 3 that's really my, the few that I'm like, okay, I really like this style that I do. If it's really worth it, a style that you like, you'll memorize it and you'll be able to reproduce it because it's natural through things you see in life or other art, whatever. And it's like, there's always going to be that difference between, I'm not going to draw Pokemon stuff that's just going to look like this. Even if I was drawing trainers, they're not going to look like, it's probably not going to look like that, because like I made this character myself in my own mind. And so it comes off a little different than when I'm being inspired by like literally Pokemon, copyrighted characters.
I think that's one of the things that I've been struggling with is just finding my own style. I get caught and lost in other, like I say, Pokemon, Marvel characters, Star Wars characters. I get caught up in all their artwork and their styles that you tend to when I'm trying to find my own style, I tend to bring a lot of that in there, which I don't want. But
you over romanticize.
Yeah. It's just, but you're so used to drawing Pokemon, Star Wars characters, whatever, that you start integrating all that in your artwork, and you're just like, no, I don't want that, because then people just think it's Pokemon artwork or Star Wars artwork or Marvel artwork.
Yeah.
You want yours to be different, and I think that's what I've been kind of like struggling on, just finding my own style. Like, what style do I have? I don't even know what my style is.
I mean, I put a ton of focus into that at one point, because I didn't have 3 years ago when I began, I didn't have a style. I literally had to go through this mud stage of just pulling stuff together and just doing it, even though if I wasn't even sure if I was going to like it. And I had to go through like this period for a few months to where I was finding out how to develop style. Not finding my style in high school, I wasn't consistent at all. I did all kinds of crazy stuff, and not finding my style like everybody else around me was was one of the reasons that I was discouraged, and I was on and off because I never found my thing. And then I start digital, and then I found my thing. And then I broke my iPad, and for 2.5 months before I got a new one, I drew traditional again. And I filled up pages every day just to kind of catch that up. I was like, where am I at with that? Since it's been so long since I've gotten serious about it. But with digital art, you know, I could take that in a million different ways than I feel like I could with traditional. Some people disagree with that though. But I do know that if you want to find your style, what I learned was one day I just looked at a bunch of images. I looked at probably 300-400 different images of interesting art that I liked on Instagram, and I didn't draw that day. And I woke up the next day, I drew something, and it came out insane. I drew something that I'd never drawn before, and it was on a render level. So I figured something out. Anybody who is willing to look at a bunch of other artists, because you're going to subconsciously take in details that you like, even when you don't know you like it.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, you like the corner of the eye. So you're going to add that in your style, but don't just look at the same artist. I was looking at hundreds of different artists, even similar ones who also did Pokemon art, but it wasn't always Pokemon art. And once you've looked at, I don't know, 10, 20,000 of those, while you're conscious that that is what creates your style just happens. So the main way it's created is literally by looking at other people's art, not watching what you're figuring out on your own. That's how it happened for me.
It's true.
I personally feel like I have no style. My whole life I've just been copying other pictures, and I'm struggling with the same thing. Candle Man, like if I'm not looking at a reference photo, I have nothing. Like I think my brain, like I was always, this was the story I tell myself, like I was always bad at math and science type classes because I can't memorize formulas or anything. And I think that goes with art too. Like if I'm all the stuff I've drawn, I have no, most of it's not memorized. Like I can't recreate it. And if I don't have a reference photo, I can't really do too much.
I found drawing, like having like people to draw helps with that. So I started, when I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do and like where I wanted to be, I actually just started drawing cosplayers because they have tons of features that you can use into other places. Like there's a cosplayer that cosplayed this guy.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I took Pokemon aspect of it, so I made him a Pokemon trainer. And I just take features from that, and it taught me, like, not only did it help me with anatomy, because that helps significantly, but it taught me the line work that I like to use. It helped me with digital. And it helped me learn, like, different features you can add to people and creatures to make them the way you want to make them. And then that helps you spark, like, hey, I want to draw someone that looks like this. That's what I want to do. And then you can draw it. You draw a hand and you're like, I really like the way the hand that looks. That would look super cool if it was like this. And you tie it into other things. Repetition and like literally art studies.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Muscle memory. Total muscle
memory.
memory.
I think it's like a flawed thing to do to try to like create your own unique style because no one's style is like truly unique. Everyone's pulling from someone else, like what Tor was saying. So like it's okay if you're pulling from Star Wars, from Pokemon or whatever. Like that's your style. Like you're influenced by all these other medias that you consume throughout your life. And like that's how it's gonna be. Like I don't know if anyone here watches Ethan Becker on YouTube. No?
Wait, is that the Minecraft animator?
No, he's like an animator, worked for Disney. He has this whole persona where he's like a total dick, but he's just trying to help
with
people.
a cigarette.
Yeah, the fake cigarette that's falling apart in the knife.
That guy's incredible.
Hilarious.
He's incredible.
So he had video talking about style and like things to look at. So Jenny was talking about the line weight, the line work that you were looking for. So find an artist whose line work you like. So there's 3 things you look for: the line work, you look for the shading, and then you look for the shapes. So if you can take those 3 things from 3 different artists, like that you really like, incorporate it into something, start working on that. It's like, all right. And then look at some more artists. Like, all right, I want to take those kind of shapes for like the hips. I'm going to take that from that person. I like the way the line width is for this person when they foreshorten arms or something. And like, that's what I've been doing for me personally. Like I have like 100 people I follow on Instagram, like people from like Asia Ladowska to Andrew Cockroach, where I just like, every day I go on my phone and I look at it. It's like, all right, I want to try to do those in my eyes today. And I throw that in. Like, I want to try to do that with my arms today. Throw that in there. And sometimes it works. And like, if it's really uncomfortable, maybe that shouldn't be in your style. Like even
Maybe
after
that
all
should
the rest.
right.
So
Agreed.
like it's like science. Like you're just
That's
throwing shit
a
in there,
big
seeing what works.
secret. That's what I've learned that in the art community. It's a big secret how to develop your style. If there's ever a way to force it, it's by looking at tons of images.
Yeah.
Just check them out. Just keep swiping. Look at them like, ooh, don't draw yet. Hold off on drawing. You know what I mean? Just look at these images and absorb that material. You go to sleep. You have new neurons. Literally more information in your neurons just because you looked at all that stuff. And so it must affect you by law.
Yeah. 100%.
And then like as you color with those things, those different features and those different types of lines, you'll start to go, okay, I don't really like this, but I know about this trick, so I'm going to try this instead. And then you're like, man, this is it. This is what I want. I just need to fix this.
100%.
I've always wanted to try different textures or different brushes.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. I always stick to studio pen. I just love the way studio pen looks. So I always just, if I don't sketch it out on the actual iPad, I'll sketch it out on a piece of paper. Then I just take a picture of it and then I throw it into Procreate and I just kind of draw it over that. But I always just do studio pen and I try different textures. I see other people's artwork with these crazy textures. I'm just like, how do they even do that? And I don't know. I think I'm just drawn to the cartoon style. Like I think that's just me, like the cartoon style. And I'll see people who make artwork look like realistic and it looks nice. I don't know. I just can't do it myself.
The one thing I'll say about brushes, if anybody that does use anything where you can customize your brushes, it is worth the time and effort to learn about your brushes and be able to customize them yourself. Yes, you can go on. Yes, you can buy brushes from people.
You're talking about digital.
Important. Yes. It is important to know. Like for myself, because I'm very shaky, I have my brushes adjusted so that there's a longer delay so I can make my lines smoother.
That's true.
Because I drink way too much caffeine. So
that's how I am. I have a studio pen, but I have the streamline at max.
The streamline, yeah.
How streamline,
so if I draw this, it'll come out this instead of like this.
Yeah. Or like you can
and
adjust
I do a lot
your
of just quick strokes.
Yeah.
Is that what I see on the iPad? I see on the TikToks of people doing the iPad drawings and the lines are perfect and like what the freak? Because
we're cheating.
Yeah, you're probably
I use Photoshop and undo. Like that's all I do.
Yeah,
all
well,
day.
I mean, you can make a line and hold it, and it'll make the line straight.
Yeah.
Like,
or a circle, you make the
this. Let's see
circle,
if I can-
and then.
Can you see it?
I don't know if we can see it.
Can you see it? Hold on, let me turn off my light. Just turn the light that way. Well, this is not going as planned.
I'm jealous of those. All right.
I think
so basically, from what I've learned from this topic, when it comes to styles, like I need to put more effort and time into developing one.
Is it there?
Yeah. Well, that too, but like you also have to, you got to find like flow. That's the thing, and you're already like really good, dude. Anyway, but like that's the whole thing. Like there's always the pressure of like, yeah, you got to put the effort in, and you're like shooting all over yourself, but at the same time, you have to give yourself that artistic and like emotional freedom to just kind of like let whatever happen. And that's, I feel like when I got to that point, that's when people would come up to me and they're like, oh, I love your style. And I'm like, I didn't know I had a style. Like, right. But it reads to other people so differently and it like hits people in a different way. So like, you just got to let that, let's get metaphysical. You got to get that energy flowing through you and mix it in with just like time and patience. It's like
artist perspective. Everybody has a different perspective on it. What one of your pictures says to you and means to you could mean something completely different to somebody else, but someone will always get a feeling from what you drew.
Yes.
Or created in general. But again, because of color, Tor, like you said, colors literally, psychologically can change how you feel.
Yep.
Color theory, man, that class helped me out so much, and watching tutorials on YouTube, man. I tell that to the kids who ask me like, how do you paint and do all that stuff?
Oh my God.
Fundamentals, color theory is like just to know how to mix the colors, how do you match the colors on the card? Like color theory, like learn how to desaturate colors and manipulate it, understand the science of it.
ambient light and all that crap. I hated it so much. I did it.
I know.
But I hated it.
I have something like the shoes that I told you the Topo Chico shoes I saw on Etsy. When I drew it, when I painted them, I didn't think about the colors. Like I just went with these 3 colors that I thought would look cool. And a lot of people, whenever they buy shoes from me or they mention those shoes, they talk about how they didn't realize that that those 3 colors would go so great together. Like it's a mint and it's a maize yellow and it's a fire red. So they're just like, I never realized that these 3 colors can go so well together. And a lot of people love that these 3 colors are. And I was like, well, I didn't really think about how the colors fit together, I guess you can say. And it, like I said, it makes a person feel something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I just never thought about it, how these 3 colors kind of do complement each other in a way that I didn't think it would.
Well, that's part of color theory. Yeah, I learned that in my paint class, where it's like you have that, and then you have the 3 that go in a row, where you have 3 different shades. I think what you're talking about is a split complementary, where it's 3 different colors that go together, and you won't think they were supposed to, but they harmonize with each other. So it's like very natural to the eyes.
Yeah, I do the logos when I ask the TikToker person. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite Pokemon? Number 1, right? What's your favorite color? Boom. And then I work my magic. Like maybe 15% of them will say, I want this, I want that. But most of my work, they're like, just to do your magic. So favorite color, favorite Pokemon, it's a done deal in most cases. No complaints at the end.
Do you do your logos
like, that's actually awesome. Yeah, like I don't get a lot of
illustrations or what? Like, what do you use your logos on?
I just use Canva. It's called Canva.com. I actually use it for work, and then there's just like a logo template, and then I just throw everything in on one and just kind of create the Pokemon, and then I just add the text, because you add the text of the TikToker name, it's just like a stamp. It's like, it's yours, it's mine, it's not, someone can take it, but they're like, wait, that's not you. That's TikToker. Like, it's, it's like, it's theirs. So that's the one thing. It's just like a stamp. Favorite color Pokemon, that's your name. And it's just beautiful at the end, because they're like, thank you so much. And then if they want to share it, tag, awesome. All I can do is just like leave it be. If they have wanted some edits, I will definitely make sure I do the edits and send it back to the person to make sure they're satisfied really at the end of the day.
You're making an ID for them. It's not just a profile picture. That's how people are going to identify them.
Correct. So yeah, I'm not just like, hey, here's the logo. It's like, for me, when I support the TikToker, I kind of understand who they are as a person, and then I implement that, especially how they do their TikToks. I just kind of take it all and put in that logo, and it represents who they are, and it kind of makes them a superhero at the end of the day. It's pretty a beautiful thing at the end. It's just, I know I don't paint Pokemon cards or actually draw, but I just take everything, absorb it of what I got from that TikToker at the time, and I just try to make it where they are at, or where they're gonna be, so they can get to that next evolution on where they're at. And
you don't have to draw to be artistic. So you're
right.
Artistic, you're creative. Yeah. Like, don't sweat it. JME, question from YouTube for you personally, buddy.
Oh
yeah.
How'd you come up with the idea of merging Pokemon with Pokeballs, and which one was the hardest to draw? Real quick.
Well, like I said, I used to do drawings on the computer, like Adobe Illustrator and stuff. And I actually had the idea a couple years ago, and it didn't work out. But then I just I was drawing, it was like a month and a half ago. I was just sitting on the couch, and I was like, I'm gonna try it again. And I did the Pikachu one, and like I said, it just kind of went from there. I think the hardest one I've done so far, I did Giratina, and it's kind of detailed, and it took me a long time to get it to look exactly how I wanted it to look. But that was probably the hardest one I've done so far. But yeah, that's how I came up with those.
I had a thought. I can project this to you guys. Did you guys know, like, I don't know if you think you're good at art, but I didn't really know I was good at art until people started telling me, like, especially with TikTok, all these kids, like, I don't know if I really believe them, but I didn't know I was good until people kept complimenting me. Now, I don't know. Did you
You're
guys
an
struggle?
expert to somebody.
Yeah.
I hate everything I do sometimes. Like, I just look at it, I'm just like, oh, that sucks. But then
I
somebody else
hate
is like,
everything.
oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
You are your biggest skeptic always.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You know, I pretty much hated my art up until the beginning of last year. I finally started to look at it and like get the goosies. It took a while for me to like believe it or know it, you know, whichever, however. But today, like, there's not a soul who could try to look at me and say, like, you don't have talent.
That's awesome.
Just,
yeah,
you know
I'm
what
just
I mean?
now coming around. I'm like, yeah, I am pretty good. Like,
It matters.
This is okay.
Though. Yeah, because even believing that's going to increase your skill. The day you wake up and you're like looking at your work and you're like, oh, like it's going to change everything.
There's confidence to it now. Definitely. There's
How you feel impacts what you create.
Yeah.
That's why if you're ever feeling sad and you create something, it's probably going to look sad.
Yeah.
If you're happy and confident, it's going to come out that way.
Even
And
when
it's
you're
just
doing
what-
lines, like if it's a confident line, like you're just going through the drawing, like I know this is gonna come out good line, boom, 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 instead of being all shaky with it. But that might be
won't
different for
lie.
tattooing. I
There's
don't know.
been times where I've like drawn something, I'm like, damn, that's a straight ass line.
Oh, right.
Straight.
All throughout high school, all the teachers were like, "You need to go to art school. You need to go to art school." And my parents were willing to pay for art school, but at the time, I was really heavy into tennis, and I was winning. I played tennis, and I was heavy into it because I was winning like district and regionals, and I was going to state. So I was like, "Nah, I want to play tennis," and that's where I screwed up, man. I think about it now. I went to college, and I have the title of professional tennis instructor, but I've never did anything with it because I realized I hate teaching. So that was a waste. But now I look back and it's like, man, if I would have taken what my parents offered me to go to art school, and I was like, man, it bums me out to think about where I could have been skill wise. And I'm just like, dang, like, I'm a late bloomer, I guess, because I'm
for a minute,
now.
I'm one of those people who don't think you need school, but then I
100%.
have reasons for that. Like, I think the whole school, like, I think I've made a mistake taking animation in college just to turn around and do 2D and 3D, like, paint renders. I'm doing nothing with what I spent, I don't know, like $18,000 on, you know. So, but I got accepted to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh when I was like 19. And then my mom got injured, and then I decided to not go. And then I took care of her and pushed her around in a wheelchair for a couple of years. And I used to regret it. But then today I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I didn't spend $28,000 a semester. I'm so glad I didn't do that when I can turn around and learn how to draw literally on my own, and then start my own business and then scale it a lot higher than I could working in some position that I could only get because I graduated from the Art Institute after I spent $200,000. That's just me, but that's, you know, my experience.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yeah.
I kind of feel that I didn't go to school. I got accepted to Grant MacEwan, which is in Alberta, Canada. And I was going to go, but I just got cold feet, and I actually moved totally out of the city. I just pieced out. I was like,
Save
handle
yourself
this.
some money.
I'm out.
I'm out of here.
I did.
I do gotta head out. I have a client coming over. I gotta train them. So much love to everyone here.
All
Learned a lot
good,
from you
Rusty.
guys.
I got
Appreciate
about
you.
10, 15 more minutes myself.
Yeah,
Glad
I'm
to
to
see you
wrap
here,
it
man.
up.
I'll make sure to follow you guys. Everything on Discord. Yeah, everyone
All
take
right,
care.
see you, Rusty.
Good
Thank
to see you, bro.
Later.
See you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, one.
I'm also gonna head out now too, but I just wanted to show everyone a little bit of my work before I go?
Please do.
Just, sorry, but I'm really okay. So, Manny asked me to pull up like some of our favorite work. So this is the shiny Charizard.
We're gonna do that right now.
Tattoo that I got to do.
Oh, he's
That's
so
really
cute.
cool.
Ooh.
That's clean.
Oh my goosebumps. Woo.
Yeah, that's
It
my
is
boy.
nice.
That's my boy. I know he's overrated. I don't care. And I got
That's my
one
favorite
more.
Pokemon. You watch your
One
mouth.
more. If anybody out there wants to follow me, I'm Amelia Moore Tattoos on Instagram, and I'm Pokemon Trainer Meal Dog on TikTok. So join me on Instagram for art. Join me on TikTok for shenanigans.
Quick to follow, for sure.
Yeah, I just did this whole. Let me see if this comes up. Whew. Where am I at? Come on, camera.
Starting to
Oh,
come
I
in.
did this
Ooh.
whole
Wow.
Pokemon
That's really
like
cool.
Halloween
Those are
starter
cool.
set on a few different
Oh
people.
my God. Those
Freaking,
Bulbasaurs.
she's good, man. She's good.
Thank you
Oof.
so much. But yeah, so and I draw and Procreate too, so I do digital stuff.
Of course.
But thank you so much.
Thank
for
you so
having
much
me.
for
It
joining.
was really cool.
Can we
to
put
meet
our
all y'all,
IGs and
and,
TikToks
I hope
on
we can
the
keep in contact with each other.
group chat?
So
Would be
yeah,
cool.
I need
Yeah,
more
yeah.
Pokemon friends. Please be my
We're
friend.
here. Well,
Found us.
you're in the Discord
Damn.
now, so we'll be talking.
In the right place.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, thank you. All
Okay.
right, guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Bye
Take
bye.
it easy.
Yeah, we're gonna start wrapping this up. I do want everyone to show off their favorite piece of artwork, and then we'll plug all our stuff in at the end as well. So let's go Scott first. Do you have a favorite piece of art that you've done?
Yes, I do.
And I think this has been a long stream, so thank you everyone for sticking around. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So this is also one of my favorite pieces of work and one of my hardest I've done because it was my first time trying to mash Venom and Charizard together, and it came out really, really cool, I think. But I did this.
Freaking
Whoa.
big too.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's on an
Crazy.
18 by
Wow.
24, and it's made with
That's
just paint.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Damn. What?
I like doing big art pieces. I don't like doing small, so that's why I don't
You are
really.
insane. The detail on the
Yeah,
tongue and the skull. Okay. I
yeah.
see you.
As you get, let's just
He
say
looks.
Todd McFarlane is like,
Oh
you know, the
yes,
person who
yes.
created Venom
Yes.
and Spawn. He's one of my heavy
That's
influencers.
that's
So
one
I
of
was
my
like,
heroes.
I
yeah.
was
So
gonna
I
say
was
that
like,
kind of remind me of Spawn.
yeah.
On his
So
life.
that's what
Oh
I
yeah.
did.
I'm
Got
so
some
glad you guys
Spawn
know
And
Tom
fans?
McFarlane. That's so cool.
Love Spawn.
yeah, Todd McFarlane. He's one. Him and have you guys ever heard of Greg Horn?
Greg Horn
He,
Arts. Yes, I've
Greg
met him.
Horn's art. Yeah, he works with like Marvel and everything. But
Yep.
those are the two people that got me to really start working in like I would say like Marvel per se type stuff in DC. But I really been trying to push like the mashups of like Pokemon and other, you know, different art styles that are out there, and I really like the concept of Venom, you know, and putting that to every Pokemon that I can. And so far I've only did like 3, but it's like really hard. Especially on an 18 by 24s, because bigger pieces, it requires you to put in so much more detail than
Yeah, man.
smaller pieces. And that piece took me like 3 solid days. And and I used Prismacolor markers, and I blasted through so many Prismacolor
I
markers,
bet. I bet.
and somebody was like, I'll buy that off you. And then I was just like, no. Like I went through so much material and just, you know, and everything. But from that I went through doing other custom paint works like that. So that has to be my favorite one and the most time consuming, and almost did not want to do art afterwards.
Yeah, I can relate to that. It takes a lot out of you doing a long piece like that. It's just
Yeah.
and to finish it, like the dedication, like
Oh, I was dedicated. You know, I did a TikTok on it too. I did a whole TikTok, and I was like, man, 3 days straight for a minute worth of work. I was like, I'm done.
all right, let's go to the next person. Hug a Mouse. What is your most proud piece of work? And
Well, I'll do like one for Pokemon and then one for just normal art. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is again, we touched on this before. Hopefully it's this is Stipple. Took like
Ooh,
40
yeah.
Guys,
hours.
those are a bunch of dots.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all of these
Oh, really?
are
Tiny
dots.
dots.
I don't know how close I can get if
Wow.
it's like whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
If
did
you go
that.
on our Instagram, you can see it so much nicer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stippling's
so
horrible.
I did also another stipple, like the first ever stipple I did, it was like this big. It was two fencers. I was in fencing in high school. So it was
God.
two of my friends fencing. I don't have that posted anywhere and it's way too big for me to hold up, but you wouldn't see it. So I can't really do that. But so that was kind of one of my favorite normal pieces. But in terms of Pokemon, my favorites I don't have because they were commissions. Here are two that I still do have though. This one was one that my mom really loved, the Staryu,
Ooh.
and then this one I really liked because it was my first usage of the holographic.
Your lighting is
Yeah.
so good. I don't
Kind of
know.
hard to see,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
How do you know how
But
to do that?
I think by the time I'm done this one will probably be my favorite just because I love the scene. I love the kind of like sunset or like it's very light sunset starting to
Yeah.
get there and the colors are beautiful and I have a clearer picture posted on my Instagram story of this. Obviously, you can't really see any detail with my camera, but I think when that's done, that'll probably be my top favorite.
Yeah, just the transitions from colors is what makes plays a lot.
Yeah, and just
You know.
Beautiful.
just the particular painting style of that one. I've always wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure if I could do that one as successfully yet because I wasn't as experienced with the cards. But now I think I can do it justice.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
blending is
Never stop.
phenomenal.
Well,
Especially to
thank
do
you.
do it with this type of paint. I need to talk to you. I don't know
Well,
how you
the
blend
thing-
with this.
Well, you got to get really small brushes and you got to be like very light with the paint. I use a lot of layers. Like this mountain, I've like literally painted probably, I don't know, like 10 different layers in some points. So it's kind of like you got to use very little paint. Um, I don't know how to describe it too well. I'm kind of blanking, but you just got to use very light paint. Don't use a ton of water. Just be very like careful with it and just layer it. You got to take time. Like I said, these take me 8+
Tedious, but
hours.
it's worth
So
it. I
yeah,
bet. Like, I'm definitely
So
gonna try.
is that acrylic paint you're using?
yeah, it's just the apple barrel.
So I use
50
oil
cent.
paint, so
Oh yeah, those are
I
a
have
lot
to
harder.
learn. I do oil paint for all my stuff, and I'm sitting there blending and diluting with all that stuff. So it's like I do not enjoy painting as much as I do everything else. So that's why I don't paint.
Yeah.
You know, but I know acrylic is a lot easier to use. It's just I was not taught with acrylic, so I'm kind of scared of using acrylic.
That's fair.
You know, so I stick to oil. But like you're doing stuff with acrylic, I'm like, man, I should just start painting because I see you doing all that stuff and it looks so much better. Because I use Uni Posca paint pens to do all my paints for like custom cards, and I'm like, at points I just don't like it because you don't get enough detail.
My biggest suggestions is just first off, like 1 or 2 layers. I think a lot of people just kind of like try to match a color and then they end with that. They kind of just end really quickly. Just even if it takes a lot longer than you expect, just keep doing it until you yourself are really happy with it, because that's kind of what I did. And another thing is with the acrylic paints, make sure it dries before you put on another layer, because something that messes it up a lot is if you paint a layer or you paint part of it, it's not fully dry, and then you try to paint more, it kind of mushes the paint around and it just comes off a
Yeah,
little bit. So
I
you
noticed
just
that.
got to be
Yeah.
really patient and just relax. Don't rush it. You can't really rush good art.
I know what TikTok videos you can make, tutorials.
Yep.
I made a first little promo one actually. I just literally took a few of my cards. I had like little videos of me holding, just like showing it. So I just put that together and it gave me some music and it was a cool learning experience. But yeah, I have my first official one other than that is going to be the in progress of this one. I have different kind of little steps with it, and I guess I'll kind of figure it out.
I think you're gonna do just fine on TikTok. You have a bright future ahead of you.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I'm not used to social media, so it's all been a experience.
it's ready for you.
Yeah, it's waiting.
I'll do my best.
All right, JME, what piece are you most proud of?
Well, I have actually 3 of them, real quick. But my first one, I like electric type Pokemon a lot, so I draw a lot of lightning. So I did this of Zapdos.
Lightning's so fun. It makes
Ooh.
everything look
For
better.
you,
That's
Team
nice.
Instinct?
Oh my god. I'm
For you,
like working
Team
on a
Instinct?
Zapdos right now. That's
What was
awesome.
it?
For you,
Yeah.
Team Instinct?
No, I'm actually a Mystic. I know.
So
That's good.
disappointed.
I get a lot of crap for being Team Instinct.
I was gonna pick Instinct, but all my friends were Mystic, and I was like, all right,
Peer
I guess I'll
pressure.
go with you guys. Yep, peer pressure is what it was. Then I did this one. Toxicity is one of my favorites.
Nice.
Nice.
Love that
You for
background.
sure have you have a sense of style there that I think you're really used to and familiar with. I can see that.
Yeah,
A lot of bright lights.
Yep, that's like this one. I actually drew this one for my wife for her birthday.
Ooh,
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's dope.
you need to teach me the lightning effect so I can try to figure out how to do that on my cards.
I actually learned how to do that with the Zapdos. I was just messing around with it, and it just kind of happened. Honestly, I was like messing with like blurring and stuff, and I was like, well, what if I stack them? And then just kind of went from there. So I just put it like in the eyes and stuff, and it kind of made it like all pop. So it was pretty cool. I actually, I'm a little bit more detailed with the lightning now. I kind of make pieces of it like bigger or thinner, so it looks like it's actually
More
striking.
organic.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been messing around with it a little bit more, but I like the lightning. That's one of my favorite things to draw.
Yeah, lightning's awesome. I like lightning, and then like putting like fast drops of rain in the background, like a storm's happening. It makes everything look better. Yo Barry, what is a piece you're most proud of?
I got a couple. So my Lugia was my favorite,
Ooh.
but now I think my new favorite is the Charizard that I painted today.
From
That's
today.
amazing.
That one's so cool.
Yeah.
That is definitely dope.
Golden, man.
It's just an energy.
Yeah, I like
too.
the outline.
Yeah, this
Check
was
out
just
that
an
video.
energy card. But also another few more is just all the trainer cards that I've done. I like really doing the trainer cards.
Yeah. That red versus blue that I got from you.
That red and blue trainer, I never wanted to get rid of it, but when you wanted one of my cards, I was like, I have to get that with you.
That's probably still one of my favorites. It looks great. The detail you put into the ground around them and everything. Oof. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
You
Barry,
picked up objects.
I still need a card.
Gotta get you one.
Barry, it's your fault that these kids are now asking for trainer cards because you started painting them.
Oh, so now
they're
the
asking me
trainer
now.
cards-
The
They're
paint trainers.
nice. You get your own
That's
full
so
arts.
cool.
And it's Scott's fault that the kids are asking me to do markers on my cards now. Just wherever he went, I blame you guys. Pokeband, what piece are you most proud of?
So the one I'm proud of, it was 23K Pokeshop, but I'm proud of Dottie Kimchi.
I love
his
that
favorite,
one.
his favorite Pokemon is actually
Okay.
Squirtle. Honestly, it's not Charizard, it's actually Squirtle. But this is
Wait,
his
get
top
out of the
three-
frame. Dunk down or something.
Yeah,
No, Squirtle's like
Oh,
that's
okay.
actually Squirtle. But Squirtle is his favorite Pokemon, and then Charizard, Venusaur. This is the reason why this is my most proud of is because I was in a live stream while this guy was hitting record numbers, but at the same time, he just doesn't like look at the numbers. He actually shows the supporters love at the same time. So it's not like he's like, all right, let's get 500. That's it, all me. It's more like, hey, on that live stream, Cookie Monster was at I think 900 followers. He was like, everyone stop. He's at 700. Everyone go follow Cookie. Within 5 minutes, he hit 1K. So not only he has hit his number, he made another TikToker go 1K. I mean, 1K is important for everyone, right? I mean, everyone remembers 1K. It's the most important one.
You can go
because
live.
Big milestone.
you can go live. Because I mean that resonates to everyone. You know, everyone that worked so hard to get 1K. There's some TikTokers that I knew back when I started that's still not 1K. I mean, I'm Russ. Your boy Russ was. I mean, I'm like, let's get this guy 1K. So each time when someone's like almost like 1K, I'm like, I'm gonna get you that 1K with it. Like, I just love supporting, because the reason why I support so much is because I don't know if you guys know this TikToker. His name is Pokemon Future Content. He's a huge supporter. He's in AZ. I don't know what happened, but I hope he's doing well. But this guy was he changed the way like I saw things when I started. And when I hit almost 1K, I told everyone, I'm like, I'm gonna open a Shiny Legends collection box, which is it's on top of my laptop right now. But I told everyone I'm gonna open this up when I hit 1K, and the guy just like tagged everyone like, hey, this guy's gonna open a Shiny Legends collection box. Let's get this guy 1K. And next thing you know, I'm at 1K, and I mean, without him and all TikTokers at the time, Catchamelly Ken, I mean, Titanic was. I mean, there's so many. There's so many. But we'll get to that on another topic. Because this would be my highlight right here, because there's a Filipino logo on the back of this, if you guys did not notice. And yeah, this just resonates a lot for.
Yeah, it's the sun. I can see that.
Culture.
Is that the sun?
Did that.
What was that?
Is that the sun that I see in the background?
Yeah. So I did the.
Yeah.
I did the.
Because I got that on my arm. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did that on the base. I did that the base just to throw it in there, and then I threw the Charizard, the Venusaur, and then I threw the Squirtle on top of Dottie, and then just threw his name, and then the flames. I had to add a flame transparent on there, which is similar to mine, which you guys notice on my logo. You add that little element in there, right there. It gives you that right there. I had to add the flames in here to give that like that effect off the ring. So
it works very well.
Yeah, your stuff pops. Your logos look good, man.
Yeah, whoever you did that logo for definitely means Pokemon trainer in Smash.
Yeah, he's about to hit 5K, so everyone go make sure you guys go follow him.
Heck yeah.
Let's go to Tor, man. What piece are you most proud of?
Most proud of, it would probably have to be, I guess for recent ones, would be between. So I have a Bulbasaur and a Charmander. Here's the and I'll try not to be biased, but here's the shadow Bulbasaur that I worked on, and with some Punkaboo headlights, and it has like a Crobat in the background, like stuff like that. But this one, I've never drawn anything like at night before.
Yeah.
And this was the second thing that I drew that was actually at night, because, and sorry for the glare. And so just, I was really proud of the eyes and having the glow kind of stand out with the Trevenant in the background. And one of my favorite things to do is to have Pokemon in the background. But with this one, this is the most difficult one I did, because, so this is actually the second one that I drew at night. The very, very first one, because I can't choose between them, even though I love Bulbasaur, is this Charmander came out really well in the extreme lit area that I put him in. Yeah, you probably have, and I can't get that glare off any more than that, but so in the background, it might be hard to see, but I put Wudo back there.
Maybe it was in the chow mein vegetables.
I put a Noctowl like way in the back, and it's hard to see on here. But for me, never drawing anything at night with the I can't remember that Pokemon's name in the corner right now, but I try to hide Pokemon, Venipede or whatever, or the first form.
Oh, okay.
It's really fun because I was avoiding extreme light conditions for some reason, and obviously because those are harder. And then that's when I learned a lot about, I delved back into color theory and things like that. And I said, I'm going to go for it. And that picture turned out It took me like 8-9 hours, but it turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted. And it was something that I had never done. So I was able to learn a lot. Then I went to the Shadow Bulbasaur idea, which was easier because I had already learned so much from doing the Charmander. But between those two, it would be really hard to choose. And then obviously, like, Mew is definitely part of that. I mean, I haven't drawn anything in the sky yet since I did this Mew, but I was really happy with the color transitions and just like the trying to keep it all together. So I would say it's somewhere between those three for me, just being proud of the milestones that I hit in those drawings.
You leveled up during it, man.
Yeah. And I'm going to take off because I have to put my kids to sleep and kind of see what's going on with them because they're all here. But I wanted to at least get that question out for you.
All right, plug your social media real quick.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In the Discord or on YouTube?
No, right now. Tell people where they can follow you. What's your name?
Oh, yeah, you can find me as Tor_creates on TikTok, TOR_creates. And I'm also Tor Creates on Instagram. But I spend most of my time, my Instagram is really just advertise what I have in my shop. It's my TikTok where you can kind of see like, more of like me and like the process and stuff like that. So TikTok is probably definitely the place to follow me at. Chat it up, help each other grow, that type of thing.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for coming, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
take it easy, yo, Barry, Russ, everybody. Y'all have a good one.
See you next time.
How are you doing?
Yep.
Jenny, what piece have you done that you are most proud of?
So I have 3.
Okay.
One I use as I'm actually going to be switching it to my profile picture for TikTok now, but I use it as my shop logo, which is this one, which is a Bulbasaur skull.
Wow.
Clearly. I have Charmander and Squirtle as well. They turned out really, really good. I absolutely love them. I haven't made them into stickers yet, but I'm going to. I'm just waiting for holographic paper. And then I did a pair of shoes for a friend of mine who runs a sports store. And I've known him for a long time. And when Colby passed away, he was devastated. It was his favorite human being. So I did these.
Oh, nice.
For him. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out, which seems like the simpler things are, the harder they are to do. And then this shirt is one of my favorites I've made.
Look at that.
I absolutely love it. And the text just means to be broken is what it says. So absolutely love it. It was one of my favorite things.
Looks awesome.
So I have something that I've done that I've used from another thing, something I've taken from your life, and then something I've created myself.
Cool. Thank you. Candle can do it, man. What piece are you most proud of, or pieces?
So I mean, I got tons of them, but the one I like the most that came out, I was actually at work, and I had some downtime. So my favorite album is Graduation from Kanye West. So that's where I got the idea from to do this piece here. So this is the album cover for, I don't know, where's my camera at? Oh, that's the album cover to Kanye West, right? His Graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took that and I did Pikachu as the graduation bear.
Wow,
That's cool.
That's cool. And then I did a Gigantamax Snorlax as the planet. And then instead of graduation caps, I did Pokeballs. And if you really look, this cloud right here is a Gyarados. I don't know.
Oh shoot! Nice.
Unless you actually know, So this is I think that's one of the ones that got me like to 1,000 on TikTok. Just this piece here. And of course he's wearing the Nike Air Yeezy 2s. These are the 2s, Air Yeezy 2s. So since my main thing is shoes, I integrate a lot of sneakers into my Pokemon. So for instance, like this Mudkip has the Jordan 1s UNCs. So, and then like this little Riolu has, if I can get them, has some Yeezy Boosts on. So a lot of my stuff has that kind of stuff in it. And then since I did, a lot of people were asking about the Bruce Lee and Hitmonlee. So I did this. I did him as dressed like
Oh
Bruce
my
Lee.
god, you're good,
with
man. You're freaking good.
With the Gyarados like a Chinese dragon. So I did his colors like that wrapped around him. Then I did Tupac as a Gengar. That was also someone requested on TikTok.
I love how playful they look, like the cartoony, playful style. Like, I can't do that.
And this is the first one I did. This is the Supreme Air Force Ones, and he's also primed out. That's the one that probably everyone. I saw more of this than anything else. And my newest piece is the Nacho Libre Pikachu. So I just went. I love Nacho Libre. And there is a Lucha Libre Pikachu, so I decided just to do the Nacho Libre uniform on him. So that's one of the new things I'm doing now, like the tie-dye shirts. It's in. So I've never been into tie-dye shirts ever, but I decided to try it out. So I did this one, and I throw a vinyl on top of it. And like for instance, like this is my first tie-dye shirt that I did, and then I just added the little Riolu Yeezy one here in the corner. So that's one thing I'm just starting out doing. So that's some of my pieces that I enjoy.
Cool. All right, I guess I'm the last one, right? Everyone went? Right. All right. So this piece is from 5 years ago when I was taking the art class in college. It hangs on my wall. I took it down. It's weird because I've done so much more art and leveled up since then. I've gotten so much better. But this one, I'm trying to think why it is like my proudest thing. I think because at the time in art school art class, it wasn't art school. It was like community college that had offered some art classes, but this was for 2D drawing one beginning art class, and I didn't know I had the skill level or the ability to do something like this when the project came upon the class. It was the last class project of the year, and we had to pick an animal, like a real animal, and draw it realistically. So I freaking did it, and when I showed everyone in class, everyone was impressed, and it just made me feel so good. I didn't know I had the ability to do it, and I've never done anything like it. That's why I didn't think I had the ability. So I was just really proud of it. Just let me back this up. So this is charcoal. Yes, charcoal and chalk.
That is so pretty.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. Dang, that's
really cool.
nice.
Yeah, and I freaking, when he told us to do a realistic animal, I was freaking out. And I was telling him in class too, I'm like, dude, I can't do this. And I did it. And I'm just really proud of it. Like line by line, like just layers and layers of freaking charcoal. And I haven't done anything like it since for charcoal. It was like the first and only time. Oddly enough.
Incredible. Wow.
But I think the only reason why I was able to do that is because he introduced us to like the grid style. So you print up the picture on a piece of paper, and you put the squares on it, and then you draw the grid on the big board, and square by square, just draw each grid, and that's what I did, and it came out really good in my opinion. But it was just cool for the teacher to be impressed with it, because in class everyone puts up their art, and then the teacher goes around and judges them or gives you criticism or critique or tries to help you with it. And he came to mine, and I remember putting mine up, and everyone was like stopping and coming to mine and looking at it. It was just it was such a cool, and people were like asking for tips. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It was a really cool feeling that I still remember. So that's what I'm most proud of. So let's wrap this up. Is anyone still on YouTube? Oh my god, we've been on here for so long. I think we still do have some viewers, but that's cool. I want to thank everyone on YouTube who came through and watched with us. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you guys for joining, and everyone who left already. But yeah, it's been a long one, but I feel like this was a fun one, man. It's cool to talk art. I've never done that before. Real quick, I want everyone to plug their social medias. So let's go one by one again. Candle, how can people follow you? Where?
Real simple. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, my website. Everything is Candle Can Do It. So KendallCanDoIt.com, at KendallCanDoIt. Like I said, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I forgot about TikTok. I'm new to TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at KendallCanDoIt.
Beautiful. JME.
I'm just on Instagram and TikTok. It's Jamie Y1Y. It's all one word.
Cool. Thank you. Jenny.
My Instagram is Mez_Jack, so it's MEZZ_JAC. And then my TikTok is very similar. It's MEZZALO. Oh man, ALOLA. Wow.
One more time.
Here-
Just say it together again. Just
Mezalola. So MEZZA LOLA. Clearly
Okay.
too many drinks.
Mr. Barry.
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok, Yo. Come check it out. He wants to me paint a car with a paintbrush or a slice of cheese. Come check out my page.
He does the most interesting stuff. The kids will just comment on his videos. Hey, paint this with a toothpick. Paint this with a blade of grass. He does it. Scott, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on TikTok, exactly how my name is, Scott Fugelberg. And you can also find me on Instagram at Drawn by a Lefty is my name on Instagram.
Cool. Thank you. Ben?
Follow me on Instagram, but follow me on TikTok because we got a giveaway tomorrow. God packs, Charizards. See you guys tomorrow, 12 p.m.
Cool. Hug a mouse.
I'll be there.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mom,
well,
look at this.
yeah, it's just hugamouse.art.
You
So
see it blue?
mouse.
Oh, I can't read.
Pretty
Right.
simple. I'm on Instagram and I just started a TikTok today, so it's not very populated yet, but I'll have a bunch of cool time-lapse videos and just like steps on how I do things. So yeah.
Yeah, be a part of it, guys. It's gonna blow up.
It's not Hugo Mouse. Everybody says Hugo Mouse, but it's Hugga Mouse. It's
Hey, I got it
3
right.
words.
Nice. I'm Manny Simone Cards on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I post different content to each platform. Please follow me on all of them if you like my stuff. This is Creators Live every week, Friday, 8 p.m. I might start doing it multiple times a week, but for now, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. TikTok is where it's at. It's where I have my biggest following. I post there daily. And open for commissions, guys, like we all are. We're artists. Usually I'm the only one saying that on the podcast, but now everyone's an artist. So if you want any work from any of us, you know how to find us. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, guests, for coming. Appreciate all of you guys. We're going to say bye now. Bye, YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
See ya.
See you later.
See you.